fellow adventurers, and welcome to Horsemen of the Apocalypse. We are Twitch affiliates and proudly sponsored by VentureSense. Click the link below, check out their amazing products, and while spending time with us in the chat, obey all the rules and listen to your moderators. While watching our stream, you are earning 2 currencies. HotA points are linked to the mini-games in the chat, and you can use them to buy extra raffle tickets when we give away free merchandise. Loyalty points are used for interacting with our show. You can buy inspiration points or health potions for the Dungeon Master or for your favorite player. There are several Twitch commands that you will need to be familiar with in our chat. Refer to the panel below if you forget them, or ask a moderator for help. These commands are how you play our mini-games, enter the giveaways, or request songs for the channel playlist. If you enjoy our content, clicking the follow button will notify you when our channel goes live. Join the HotA family by becoming a subscriber, and you get several benefits. A custom icon, unique emote, increased chances of winning in all mini-games, access to a private chat room, and free song requests. The following program features adults using adult language. You have been warned.
It's Dulger's fault. He killed them.
And we are live. Welcome everybody to Total Tabletop. This is Horsemen of the Apocalypse Season 2. And tonight is the last game this channel will be playing for the year 2019. So welcome everybody for catching the last one. We got some exciting stuff. We're going to hopefully be wrapping up Season 2's final game. We will see if it trickles over and we might have one more. But the hope is to be able to start their campaign on January 8th. So, yeah, the week of the 22nd and the 29th, there'll be no streams. But I am your humble Dungeon Master for the evening, DM Steelax. And once again, we got our S2 players here. So let's do a little meet and greet. Who are you? Who you playing? A little fun fact about you. And we got a special guest playing once again tonight. Take it away, Juju Nem.
Juju Nem. This is Brian coming out of Northwest Pennsylvania. I am playing Junem, the Lux Dawn Cleric. And fun fact, he actually is the most beautiful of the menagerie. We took a poll.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
You're the
Alright, well, welcome.
Hey. Polls don't lie. It's fact.
I don't remember this poll.
And
It's not the Democrats said election.
You weren't invited yet.
I'm John. I am playing 13, the Ratkin Monk, and I'd like to just say fake news on Junem's Simple Fact, because we all know that 13 is the cutest of them all.
Did you check your mirror?
Alright, well, welcome.
Hey, what's up, people? I'm Chris Ferguson, hailing from York, Pennsylvania, and I play Treble Flibriota, the leader-ish adventuring bard. Fun fact, Treble might be playing a lawyer today, and I don't know, I can only count up to the 5th.
Okay.
I'm Shadow. I play Gur Doraka. I'm from Portland, Oregon. And fun fact, Gur is the fluffiest. And that's all that matters.
Awesome. Well, welcome. Well, we have a 5th person playing here tonight, and that is our guest player. Go ahead and introduce yourself and let them know
Well, hello.
how fantastic
everybody.
you are.
I'm Spaz, and I will be playing a multitude of NPCs, not just Devis tonight, if everything goes well. And I wish the party luck for their, I guess, adventure in the courtroom.
Thanks. We're going to need it.
Faz, would you say out of all the NPCs you've played on this show so far, this would be your 5th character?
No.
No.
No?
Okay.
Oh,
Good
side
try.
note, I could have added a 5th character to the poll, Wobbles, and he surely would have won.
I think
yeah,
Bobbles
obviously.
definitely would have won.
Yeah.
That's why you didn't
Didn't
add him.
think
You
about
didn't
that.
want to lose. Like,
Sure, clearly. Okay.
If only there was a 5th option for polls. There's only the 4. All right, so we're going to get started with announcements. All right, Gen Con is coming up in the very end of July, so we are registering for next month. It's Gen Con 2020, we are all going to be showing up. Season 1 and Season 2 players, full cosplay, playing live, and hopefully we're going to be able to stream it from location. So anything you guys do for monetary stuff goes towards that fundraiser. That includes your bits and your subs. Speaking of subs, if you guys join the Tabletop fam, you're going to unlock some unique emotes. You guys go and spam them in the chat so people can see what they look like. Also, going on with Twitch right now, if anybody subs during the month, it's going to unlock Christmas emotes for everybody as well. Let's see, what else?
And what day is Christmas on?
The 25th.
F.
All right, let's see what else. If you guys miss any episodes for any of the shows, we do upload them to the YouTube. They're usually a day or two behind the actual gameplay, then we get them up there. If you would like to get to know any of us or have any questions about D&D or want to tell us your tabletop adventures, go ahead and join our Discord. We'd love to hear from you and maybe give you some pointers, or if you guys got any advice for how we can make our stream/game better, we'd love to hear from our community. John, you want to let them know what other content that they can watch on our channel, except for the next 2 weeks for holiday break?
Sure, we've got a lot of programs running on this fine channel. So on Sundays we have Ages Past at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, and that is run by AJ. On Monday we have Dungeon of the Mad Mage with Team Underdark, run by myself, 6 p.m. Pacific on Mondays. Tuesday there's Horsemen of the Apocalypse Season 1, the original gangsters, so to speak. They're at 6:30 p.m. Pacific. And of course, today's program, which is Season 2 of Horsemen of the Apocalypse. And I understand that we also have a 5th program coming to our channel as well.
We do. Why don't you go ahead and let them know about that? Not Mike.
Yeah, so, hey, we got a possibility thingy. It's a hybrid of, like, gaming with PC stuff, and then, like, interviewing all of our peeps that we have on the show between AJ's Past, Dungeon of the Mad Mage, HotA Season 1 and HotA Season 2, and, reaching out to the community with our fans and stuff like that. Going to be trying to get some just gaming and then some just casual games and interviews and talking about D&D and all the campaigns that are going on. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to start January on Friday nights around 9-ish. Well, no, that's 9 my time. 6-ish?
Pacific.
Pacific.
You can say anytime as long as you say the time zone, but the default is Pacific if we don't specify. Awesome. Yeah. So join us for that stuff. What else do we got? While you guys are watching, you're going to be collecting table tokens. If you're active in the chat, it's going to double how much you guys earn, and you guys can spend those on a couple different mini games. We got heists, slots, gambling, a bunch of different things. You guys can check out the panels down below, and you guys can use those points to influence our game. If you see above everybody's heads, they're health potions, inspiration points, corruption modifiers. So we'd love it for you guys to spend those. Make sure you don't waste your points though, and redeem if somebody already has it. So be looking out for those. Players use them frequently. Do we have anything else to announce? Oh yes, we are at the 1 year mark for Season 1 as far as the campaign starting. So when we come back, we're going to be doing a anniversary special, which is going to be a 2-parter. So be looking out for that. If you join the Discord, you can watch a teaser trailer for what it's going to look like. It's really short. It's only like 30 seconds long. But it'll give you guys a little heads up for what that's going to be. It should be a lot of fun. All right. I think that's it for announcements. Let's get a recap. What happened last episode, which I think was 11, right?
That's right.
Okay.
So session 11 began with a little girl named Mary leading Treble and Gur into the Lord's Manor in Holbrick. As they entered, they discovered that everyone in the manor had been slain, much like everyone else in the city. So after getting as much information as they could, Treble brought Junem in to try to explain what had happened with the clones. Even after explaining the situation best they could, being the little girl that she was, she screamed and ran at the sight of the Loxodon and the Tabaxi Gnome half-breed that had just slaughtered everyone she knew. So At that, the menagerie decided to go to Candoria proper to look for Devis and Lilash. As they arrived, they went to the Red Dragon Inn, where they found a very intoxicated Lilash. As they were catching up, the bartender presented Gur with a chest from Devis. In this chest was a note. This note explained that Devis had turned himself into the temple and was expecting to go to trial very soon. So he insisted that the menagerie bring Lilash to said trial as witnesses.
Okay.
He stressed very strongly that we speak only the truth if we were to go, and be very sure not to incriminate ourselves. He also noted that we should return the Golden Fleece to Nemoir, the head priest Savadine for the Cheetah Tabaxis, which could be a problem because we may have lost it. But
Okay.
with this information, the sober few of the group went upstairs to a very elaborate suite to discuss the contents of the letter, what they were going to do, and they decided that Treble and Gur would go to the courthouse to try and talk to Devis.
Okay.
So they did get to go see Devis. Treble went in and was identified as his lawyer, so that may be how things play out today. But Devis kind of went over his course of action, rehashed his notes from the letter, and wanted to be sure that the main point was to expose the cult of chaos, aka the caucus they've been affectionately named. So when they returned, 13 and Junem went to the shack outside of the city where they had left Elbert, which was the fourth clone, I think. And he was found to be conscious in there. So they fed him, got him some water, and he actually started talking of his master, but really wouldn't give up any more information. So Junem and 13 slept out there to make sure he didn't escape. Next morning, everyone met up, changed, cleaned up, got a couple of bow ties into the group, I believe. And they kind of went over what was going on and made their way to the courthouse. So the courthouse, correct?
City Hall.
City Hall. There we
Yeah.
go. Sorry.
It's okay.
As they went in, everyone's weapons were confiscated. Spell foci taken. The only one that was left was Junem's holy symbol. So they had just entered the room, and the receptionist basically told us, we're going to be in a chair if we're called up. We must concede to fail a zone of truth spell, so that they know that we're telling the truth, and that they were going to be high-ranking officials from all over the land. So they entered the courtroom. We saw several tabaxi, several dwarves. We saw Junem noticed Ironside was there, which was kind of a big deal for him. Then the head guard Keldavar, which we had heard mention of before, came in, proclaimed, "All stand for Tavara," and in walks Tavara. She started addressing the room and called forth Devis Longhorn to the stand, and that is where we begin today.
Awesome. Okay, so you guys have been waiting for this moment. Finally seeing a bunch of these characters that are going to be big players later on. Devis finally takes a seat after being called up there. Caldivar is going to be kind of looking over Devis as he sits down, ensuring that everything is in order, and he will look up to Tavara, and his large helmet will just kind of nod, and Tavara will pound her staff into the ground and look over to Devis. Before we begin any line of questioning, is there any opening remarks that you would like to make, Devis?
Not at the moment.
Thank you, everyone, for making time, for being here. As we all know, this land has gone through much turmoil and much heartache. And all of you know how important Kandore and her people are to me, and the laws that we have to govern our people are to protect our ways of life and to protect Kandore's people. And it has come to the temple's attention that some temple guards were murdered in cold blood. And before us sits the accused. Evis, what would you like to say about the charges of murder and coming against the temple directly?
Such a strong word, murder, you use. But I guess that's a way of putting it. Not exactly the way I selected it in writings, but sure. When it came to the reasoning for turning myself in for this, it's the chance that actually happened when we were at the waterfall of the attack. Now, yes, they were in the peril of temple guards, but at the moment and how things were going, there was a high likelihood that they weren't temple guards. But considering how things are going and one of them's actually here, that could change things. Now, first, I should give my reasoning of why attacking the temple guards, as this was not out of any spite or anything of the temple, I should note.
Before we get into that, I would like to know, why did you turn yourself in, first of all? This makes these proceedings much different when we already have a confession. So I would like to know why you confessed. Maybe we can learn a little bit more about you.
The reason that I confessed was out of respect for both the temple and the people that serve it, as in the time that this of the attack happened, I had to take action instead of hesitating. That action caused the death of possible members of the temple to be harmed, and if that is true, then punishment should be brought out.
Do you believe that justice should be served with this matter?
Justice should be served.
Do you believe that the temple seeks righteous judgment in this endeavor?
I do believe the temple seeks righteous judgment on this, but I believe individuals in the temple seek to corrupt it.
Well, those individuals are not on trial here today, Debus. You are.
Indeed.
And I would, during this, I'm also going to be trying to assess what kind of character you possess, and I would like you, before everyone, to let us know, what are your true feelings about the temple?
The temple, I believe, is a structure that's necessary for all to believe in, as it gives strength to those that do not have it. Now, the temple over the years has changed its exact views, but as a pillar of society at this point, it is necessary. I do not hate the temple. I will disagree with it at times, but I still have love for the goddesses and those that worship them.
I will concede to the point you've made that individuals do have the right to disagree with the temple. But nevertheless, law must be followed, and the law is enforced by the temple guards who have pledged their entire lives to servitude and upholding the values of our people and our land. And I personally treat any death of a temple guard to be as if you killed the head priestess itself. I mean, it's such a grave thing to happen. I believe, Devis, I was informed that you have some legal representation. Is that correct?
Yes.
Before your representation comes forward, you were beginning to say something earlier about why you did what you did. Would you like to do that, or would you like your counsel to come forward before that?
If I have permission to continue, then I will.
Yes, feel
Thank
free.
you, Priestess Tava. Now, like I was saying, there is the high possibility that I do believe that, yes, guards were attacked in this. But I should note that during the times that we were executing the job that I was given, things were not adding up. Majorly, the town of Brendylick noticeably being infested by members of what I would believe is COC. And considering all the things leading up to the waterfall event, there's a high possibility that those temple guards that didn't even allow questioning or anything of that or answering, who straight out attacked on sight, could possibly be individuals of the COC posing as guards, or the worst, which I do fear, possibly true,
Now,
COC members.
can we
posing
get
as
some
guards.
clarification from you, Devis? Now, when you refer to the COC, who is it that you are referring to exactly, for clarification purposes?
When you mean clarification to who I'm representing, do you mean an individual that I believe was a part of this, or what is the COC?
Yes, you said COC. Can you please clarify what you mean by when you say COC?
The COC is an organization which many individuals that I know along myself have running into in the past. It's a shadow organization from what we know of that's attempting to cause conflict of others for their own self-interest.
I also have heard rumors of this underground organization, but any of us have been very hard pressed to find any actual proof that they are organized. So,
That is-
go ahead.
That is when it comes to legal evidence, that is actually what I brought to you. As I had to leave early to inform the deaths of the possible guards, or people posing as guards, I let my associates take care of the rest of the investigation as they collected evidence and such.
We will be accepting
Proofs.
evidence at in a future point. It is definitely very important to the temple that we see all evidence that anyone has or testimonies from anyone, but there is a time for that. Devis, I want to thank you for coming forward and revealing these things and taking the initiative. We will definitely be taking it into consideration, but the offense is quite grave, and I
understand, lady.
do not know what the outcome will be, but I pray that whatever the goddess's will is comes through for this, and my hands are somewhat tied in this endeavor with having to enforce the laws, and I wish you good luck. We will be bringing you back up again later, but I think for now, let's have your legal representation. Come take the stand. Devis, you can go ahead and Caldevar will start to move forward, and he will indicate for you to come sit at the bench on this side here, and you're going to be remaining in your shackles.
Okay.
And he will escort you over. And then Caldovar will start to move over towards the other bench. And we'll be waiting for the representation to step forward.
Treble looks at everybody and slaps Gar on the hand, grabs a glass of water and chugs it real quick. He stands up and slowly starts moving up to the court here.
Okay.
Just stands right about here. He's wearing like a gray suit with a green tie. His hair, he's like slicking back his hair and
Okay.
shaking, nervous.
Sure.
And he goes, great. Great. Greetings and salutations, people of Pandoria and Your Holiness Darvara. I humbly thank you in advance for your time. We are gathered here today to judge and prosecute a man of faith, a cleric by the name of Devis, who was peacefully turned himself in and humbly awaits your decision. Our purpose here today is to shed some light on his story and to offer information to hopefully persuade you and the city of Candoria to consider alternative sentencing and the possible release of Davis. I would,
Before you get much further, Council, we would require you to take a seat and concede to the zone of truth before you go into any further opening statements.
yes, that is fine. I would be more than glad to.
Okay?
And this right here.
That's the table. So we'll
I
throw you on
climb down off the table.
we will set you on the chair. All right.
Sure.
So you, as a player, are you conceding to the zone of truth?
Yes.
Okay. So you have to be very careful with what you say. How the mechanics of this works is that you cannot say anything that you honestly think is a lie. You can be clever with how you word things, but in your wording, what you say has to be truth, or you physically cannot say it. And you always have the option of not saying anything as well, but it can look very bad. So
Okay.
go ahead. Take it away.
Okay. Well, I was planning on calling a witness to the stand first, but if I'm going to be the first witness, I will just start from the beginning.
For clarification, Counsel, what is your relationship with the accused?
I am a party member of the menagerie that was working for Davis in order to recover a fleece that he needed to help a friend in the Church of the Shroud.
Do you believe your working relationship causes a conflict of interest for these proceedings? To the best of your knowledge.
I do not believe my relationship with Davis causes any sort of conflict.
Okay, proceed.
Okay, so do I like ask questions and stuff, or do you ask questions, or do I just start talking?
You are the counsel, so you can kind of take it however you want, but if you get out of line, she will give you kind of a warning. You're not like really going to get in trouble very quickly, but if you keep getting warnings and you don't listen to them, it may, you can get in trouble. But since you've never done this before, there's a little bit of grace here for you. So just go ahead and try to do whatever it is that you want to do, and I'll just kind of help guide you. Just listen to warnings, and you should be okay. Okay.
First, I want to address the city of Pandoria and you as well, Tevara. The man that you are prosecuting today is a cleric. And from my knowledge of clerics, which is not very extensive, but they are people that serve the church and they are to do good things for people, and they are protectors. The man that stands accused and is humbly admitting his guilt in this situation is a good man. And if I may ask, what is the standing decision of the prosecution for the punishment of killing the guards?
What are you asking?
What is the punishment for killing the guards currently standing?
The maximum penalty would be execution. We might, depending on how these proceedings go, it could be any lesser degree. But with him already having a confession, I guess the evidence and testimony will dictate it. Would you, counsel, would you say that murder is good?
No, murder is not good. Murder is the opposite of good. Murder is
Okay,
bad.
thank you. So anybody who commits murder or admits to committing murder, you would agree is not good.
Anybody admitting to committing murder, if they honestly did it, I would say they are bad, but everyone deserves a fair trial.
So you said your defendant you believe is a good man, but you did also follow that up saying murder is not good, and anyone who confesses to committing murder is not good.
I don't.
How can
believe
your
that
defendant be a
murder-
good man if he confesses to committing murder?
Davis may have confessed to the words that you shoved in his mouth, but murder is not the word that I stand for. We were there. He did not commit murder. And if you can provide us with 100% evidence that it was murder, then I will shut up.
I believe, counsel, that with your client already having the confession, the verdict of whether or not he did it is not up for debate. It's going to be the severity of the consequences, if you will. Are you saying that you don't believe that your client killed the temple guard?
I don't believe that he is guilty of murder.
So what crime do you think your client is guilty of?
If you're asking me personally, the only crime Davis is guilty of is sending me on a stupid mission for a fleece that had no relevance to my background story whatsoever.
Is there any other opening points that you would like to make, counsel, while you are here?
I humbly ask you to consider possibly releasing Davis if you allow us to present our case one at a time. We do have witnesses. We have my humble team, the menagerie here, that they are all prepared to make their statements as well.
If you would like to call your first witness,
I
go ahead.
would certainly like to do that.
Please announce to everyone here who they are and take a seat, and they can come and sit in the chair of truth.
Your Greatness, I would like to address the elephant in the room by calling Junem up to the stand. Junem, would you please?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Hoping he was the fifth one up.
So they.
Okay, Trouble, you can go ahead and retake your seat.
Okay.
And Brian, do you concede to the zone
I'm
of
sorry,
truth on the
is
chair?
there a larger chair here?
It is a magical chair.
Oh, good.
It will be able to withstand your stature.
Okay, you might need a fifth leg or something like that.
Do you concede to the zone of truth in the chair?
I do concede, yes.
All right. All right. Will you please let the court know who you are and your relationship with the defendant and why you're being called here as a witness?
Yes, my name is Junem of the Borneo tribe of Loxodons. We roam near the north. I, much like Treble that you met earlier, was employed by Davis to retrieve an item for the shroud.
Okay. And going off of your attire, what would you say your profession is, Junem?
I am a man of the cloth.
Would you say... Let me rephrase. What, as a man of the cloth, what would you say the temple represents for the people of Canhoria?
I was raised and have dedicated my life to the temple in the idea of the founding ideas of unity with the sisterhood.
Okay. And what is your testimony?
I as well am here to shed light on what I believe to be is an innocent man that has, however he sees it, possibly misguidedly turned himself in to try and shed light on a bigger injustice that has been happening in lands that we have been traveling over the past months now, I believe, since we've known him. What I believe is that the previously mentioned COC, known as the Cult of Chaos, has been gaining steam and committing acts of treasonous... I'm not sure how to say it. This Cult of Chaos is responsible, as far as I know, for, at the very least, acts of murder, acts of espionage, and acts of pretty much any of the worst deeds that you could imagine. And so how we ended up here is that through this Cult of Chaos, a friend of ours, Miss Lilash, that you see over here, had her husband, we believe to have been abducted by this Cult of Chaos. Shortly after, while we were trying to find him, we also believe that legal counsel Treble's family member, uncle, was also abducted by this Cult of Chaos. And while we were trying to find clues, figure out where they went, that's pretty much what led us to that waterfall where the supposed guards were where these guards.
Many times, Junem, during your statements, you use the word believe. You believe the COC has committed crimes. You believe that the guards were part of the temple. You believe... The court is here to assess facts, not beliefs. We're here to look at hard evidence. If you care to expand upon that, feel free. But remember, we're not here for beliefs. Although beliefs are very important, as I'm sure you have very strong beliefs, and I appreciate the services you have done for the temple. But do you understand the difference between and the importance of bringing forward only facts to court? If you do not have any evidence or proof, it should not be brought up.
Forgive me, a very large part of my life has been in dealing with belief and with faith. With facts, I very seldomly work with, but what we should attempt to provide is the fact or the proof of who we believe might be the leader of this Cult of Chaos. And with that, I would like to introduce some evidence, which would be these feathers that we've brought. These are feathers that were found at the scene of the missing husband and the missing uncle.
Caldivar, will you please collect the evidence. And what all exactly are you going to be handing in? How many
2
articles?
feathers.
So 2 or 3?
I'm handing them 2.
You're handing him 2? Okay.
Mhm.
He will collect it and he will bring it forward and present them to Tavara. Will you
These
please...
feathers-
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. These feathers, when we first encountered one, was at the house of Miss Lilash over here. That was when we found out that her husband had been, as far as I understand it, beaten and removed from his house forcefully. That feather was laying there, and it smelled very much like a man that we had met previously, who we do now believe to be the leader of the Cult of Chaos. This man's name is Cain.
Your Holiness, if I may question the witness, please.
I will grant it, but after the explanation of the presented evidence. If you will, please wait, counsel.
We had met the man known as Cain, and as I understand it, he was the mayor of the city, or the township, what you may have called it, of Brendilek. When I had met him once before, he had a plume of such feathers around his neck. And with this, I have a very good sense of smell. My trunk, yes. And I could tell without a doubt that this feather was of that plume. As is the case with the second feather, which we found at the scene of the missing Uncle Puck.
All right. Thank you for submitting evidence. Counsel, if you would like to question the witness, feel free to step forward.
Afternoon, Junem.
Good day.
So,
You were muted, Spaz, if you were trying to be heard.
It's morning
speaking
still.
of
Oh.
mentioning Cain,
Yes.
you mentioned that we met him in Brandylek. Yes?
That's correct.
That is a fact, yes?
Yes, facts. That's what we're working with.
Right. And you had also mentioned when meeting Cain that he had a feathered plume. Is that a fact?
Correct.
And you have now turned in feathers of said feathered plume. Fact?
I think so, yes. Fact.
Okay. Now, a while back when we were in a cave, we were attacked by
Kenku.
Kenku. Would
Yes.
you believe there is any correlation?
Very well could be. They have similar feathers as I understand it.
And at the day of the temple guards being, air quotes, murdered, what is it that you saw as a fact?
As we arrived to the entrance to the waterfall, we had heard a woman screaming. It turns out that was Lilash over here. As we drew closer, we saw that she was with, I believe it was 3 men dressed
Your
in...
Holiness, let the people see that he did point out our witness, Lilash. That is Lilash right there. Yes, Junen? That is a fact?
Yes, that is Lilash.
Yes, see.
Lilash.
Your Holiness, another fact presented to you so humbly. Please continue.
As we... Oh, yes, of course. As we approached, we saw 3 men that were dressed in temple guard armor. It seemed improbable or possible at the time that it may have not been temple guards, given the circumstances that had led up to that, as I had explained earlier. As we got there, the timing didn't add up. It seemed to be too soon for anybody to have come from, the temple, and met her at such a precise location so quickly. That being said, as we approached, we saw one of the guards actually strike Lilash, and pretty physically as well. physically enough that we decided to step forth and suggest that they stop striking the lady.
And you mentioned that there were 3 temple guards, yes?
Yes, there could have been a 4th or a 5th above, but they must have left.
I was going to ask if there was a 5th.
Hey,
Okay, well, that is good, the 3.
yes,
This is a fact.
that is a fact.
And who was it that you saw of our the constituent? Who was it that you saw go forward?
At the time, the first to step forward was our small friend over there, 13, and Devis, I believe, stepped forward as well. Shortly after, the rest of us did as well.
And as a witness, what can you present to the court that happened?
As we stepped forward, I believe it was 13 over here that had told them to stop harassing the woman. And with that, one of the men attempted to murder 13 without a breath.
In your opinion, does this seem like something that a temple guard would do?
Absolutely not. I've met several guards before, and none that I have ever met would strike a lady or try to kill someone without asking questions.
If I may interject, Counsel, Junem, you know that temple guards are instructed to treat people well, but they are also, when given orders to apprehend somebody accused of something,
Yes.
to bring them here, they are allowed to act under force. And if somebody comes against them, are they not legally allowed to show matching force to ensure that their orders are taken out or carried through?
At the time, we had stood out with our arms down, with no weapons. And there were 3 of these very large men and 1 very small lilash that they were striking and abusing. Be it guards or be it no one else, no one had the authority or the right, in my mind, to do so, which is why we stepped forward.
Continue.
I understand that had they been temple guards, and as Devis mentioned earlier, that might be the case. We weren't sure of that at the time. And again, without asking questions or telling us who they are or identifying themselves or anything else, they attacked our friend mercilessly.
Junem, if you were acting on behalf of the temple, and you would agree while carrying out mission and in quests, sometimes you do not have time to answer questions from random people. Would you agree with that? Sometimes time can be
no.
of the essence.
I would disagree with that when it comes to trying to take the life of someone without question.
Someone taking the life out of that portion of it. Sometimes would you agree that the mission, that you do not have time for stopping to talk to people who should not be interfering with it? You just have to execute. Would you agree with that?
I think execute may have been a poor choice of words, but I do agree that there may have been some expediency to their mission.
So with that context in mind, if the guard felt that the mission was expedient and did not have time to answer to somebody who had, from his perspective, had nothing to do with it, he had to bring a suspect back. Do you concede that he was acting within his rights to not answer your questions?
He did have the time to strike my friend twice before. He could have used that time to make his way back to the temple. I still concede that was an issue.
I love how everyone's raising their hands like it matters. You're not up front. Council and the person up in the chair are the only ones allowed to speak. If council, keep an eye on other people. If they're wanting to come up, you can request to dismiss. But just so you know, she's not going to address anybody because they raised their hand.
I need him.
What's
that?
him.
You what?
I need fucking Chris.
You guys can table talk. I'm just saying she's not going to acknowledge. So
I know.
guys...
I'm not raising my hand for her. I'm raising it for Chris.
Okay, go ahead.
He's in trouble.
Go ahead.
Yep.
Well, I need to go up to speak, don't I? And he has to call me up.
Great. Okay, so yeah.
It's all up to you, man, for controlling the flow.
As she's Tavares.
Do you need to speak or do you need to talk to Treble?
No.
I'd like to speak.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll go. Objection, Your Holiness. Honey badgering the witness. I would like to interrupt and call back Junem to have a seat and bring back Davis for further questioning. It looks like he has something to say. Speak to the city of Candoria and yourself.
All right, Junem. Thank you. You may return to your seat. If council's wanting to bring up Davis again, you may proceed.
Yes, ma'am.
And as a side note, Junem, thank you for your service to the temple.
Of course.
I said,
What was that, council? I'm kidding.
That's what he's thinking, but he's...
that was the tail.
Go ahead. Do you bring Davis up again?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead, my man.
High Priestess Tavara. I do have a question for Kaltavar, actually. If you don't mind. Considering Kaltavar is the commanding officer of the Temple Guards.
I guess that is up to Kaldavar. Kaldavar, and he will just look at her and nod, and he will step forward and approach you.
Paladin, head paladin of the Temple Kaltavar. Do you agree that these men were sent out under your orders to obtain this Lilash?
Yes, they were.
They were. Would it be too far for me to ask who asked for her capture?
I do not believe that that information is needed to be given to you.
Just a question I had.
That's fair.
Now, another thing. Do the temple guards not follow the tenets of the goddesses?
Can you remind the courts of these tenets that you speak of?
There's many of them. Well, mattering which goddess you look at, but few of them are protecting the innocent and not attacking unarmed and defenseless individuals. Even though if it's mission, there should be always time for a temple guard to understand not to break these tenets.
I would concede that these tenets are taught to all of our guards, and they should be upheld. But I think that it is also noteworthy to also bring forward that discretion is constantly needed as a guard or any kind of law enforcer. Sometimes one must make very quick decisions, and sometimes it can get confusing where that line should be drawn.
I was just wondering your thoughts on your guards committing murder in some senses as well.
I'm trying to think of how he would say this.
This is both to him and also
Sure.
to Tavara.
Sure.
As well.
I'm trying to get my verbiage here.
Because
Good. Murder is absolutely not tolerated. But the law makes a distinction between killing and murder. If a
What is
temple
that distinction?
if a temple guard kills somebody who they believe is interfering with enforcing the law, it is not murder.
Understood.
Any more questions?
Your Holiness, if I may.
Okay.
Davis, a little background, please. What temple do you serve?
When it comes to the temple that I serve, it would be
Oh.
both this temple and also my beliefs would be directed towards the goddess of Sabati. But when it comes to everything, all follows back to the same temple.
And that is a fact?
Yes.
Okay. Shit, lost the point. Where did I go?
If you're trying to point at that, since I follow the temple, matters would include that as well.
I'll be doing the talking. Thank you.
The questioning, I will be doing the questioning.
Do you believe in doing the right thing above all costs?
Always.
And do you believe in killing for the right reason?
I believe there's a time for killing and there's a time for not.
So when the temple guards deceased, how would you say the act was that put in them?
Well, considering there was time to think, and they decided just to attack. That is more of a matter of someone else to witness, than for us just to say. As it seems temple guards can do as they wish.
So my last question to you is, do you believe that
Counsel?
you committed murder?
Not believe.
Would you say, as a fact, that you committed murder?
No, I did not.
That is all, Your Holiness. I would now like to please, if I may, call 13 to this chair.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll just
Okay.
stand.
Stand, seat, chair, whatever.
I call him to the sit.
Yes.
13 hops off the bench
Okay.
and walks over towards the chair. He,
Come on,
cli-
little buddy.
he climbs up onto the chair and like stands on the chair
Okay.
and straightens his bow tie.
Awesome. All
And
right.
then he looks around. Ladies and gentlemen, I find myself here today in this honored establishment, for it is the will of the sisters. It is their divine guidance that brings this lowly servant of the unity to the defense of this fine man, Devis. My friend, Junem, and I, we've journeyed far and wide over the last several years, witnessing firsthand the devastations that hath been wrought upon our lands by the horsemen. When we received a missive from my old acquaintance, Devis, well, that he needed our help to find a lost relic of the sisters, a golden fleece, we answered this call. And as all trials that are put before you are placed there by the sisters to test and temper her devoted followers, we answered the call. It is in this very city that we first met our new friends, Treble and Gerd, and we journeyed together to find proof of the sisters' divine presence, proof that could help inspire a generation of people that have forgotten, or worse, perverted the words of Alundra. So together, unified in our resolve, we ventured forth, knowing that the sisters had laid this path before us. Along the way, we met this kindly woman, Lilash, who against all odds had kept her husband alive since Pestilence, the first horseman, ravaged our lands. When he should have long since succumbed to his illness. Here we are now, before her, which means we have now the means to potentially finally heal this man. Imagine the belief and the hope of the tales of this healing that it would bring to our world. The sisters had surely put this opportunity in our path, a chance to show the world that they may not be, though they may not be here directly, their presence and their power still thrives. So we went to the tears so that we could see what could be done. Yes, I understand that the new faith claims that this wonder, this proof of divine, is off limits. But we should all thrive to bring glory to the sisters and the unity. And it is upon each and every one of us to do our very best to pull this world from the edge of despair and guide our brothers and sisters back into the light. For if we stand together in unity, we can win. Well, upon reaching the tears, we found this woman, Lilash, a woman stricken with grief and sorrow, being accosted by 3 individuals that appeared to be dressed like temple gods. I stepped forward to assist Lilash and to ask, why are they beating this poor woman? And I was attacked brutally. I was only asking a question. I have no weapons, and my hands were at my side. Well, me and my group of friends, we knew that this could not have been true followers of the sisters, for they could not do something like this, because it is not the way of the unity for the strong. For is it not the way of the unity for the strong to shelter the weak, and for each and every one of the children of the sisters to uphold the principles of our tenets? Saladin teaches us never to strike down the innocent or the defenseless. Was Lilash not at least defenseless against those gods? Kervalia teaches us to reveal the truth and be just in our actions. I am here today to do just that. Alashar teaches us that we must protect places of knowledge. And I would ask you, would she not wish to share the knowledge as long as that place would not be damaged? I ask you instead to bring justice to the downtrodden citizens of the town of Brandylac. This once proud town has fallen under the sway of an evil cult, the cult of chaos, a cult that has brought fear, injustice, and heresy under the guidance of their mayor, Cain.
Well, I must say, that was very elegantly spoken. Very good. Oops, I messed up there we go.
And Tavares' head explodes.
You said your name was 13?
Yes.
Wow, 13. Thank you for reminding of us all of what the sisters stand for. And it was very elegantly spoke. Do you have any evidence to bring along those very eloquent words?
There was someone hiding in the bushes watching this whole thing unfold. Unfortunately, we did not pursue them. We did, however, let this man, and he points over to the guard at the end of the bench. We did let him go, knowing that we had helped the innocent. We had helped the downtrodden Lilash, who was only trying to do her best, and we let him go. Would we let someone go if we truly thought we were in the wrong? Why not kill all of the witnesses?
That brings up a very good point. 13, would you consider yourself a servant to any of the goddesses?
I am a servant and an ambassador for unity.
If, while in the line of serving your goddess, somebody came along and morally opposed you, would you react up to lethal force to stop them from interfering with your mission?
If they morally opposed me,
Yes.
their words have no bearing on whether or not I should kill them.
So you would not kill somebody if you felt that they were coming against the goddess's will.
If they used force in such a situation, then I may need to find that way. But if they are just talking to me, there is no reason for me to resort to violence at all.
But say it did escalate to that. Of course, there's the escalation of force, but if you felt in your heart of hearts that the only way to stop them, the injustice against the goddess, is to take their life, do you believe that is something that you think is appropriate and that you would do?
Only as a last resort.
Your Honor, Your Holiness, is these hypotheticals actually going anywhere? To be fair, Your Holiness, that you ask us to provide you with facts. And all I'm hearing right now is one witness after the other being asked hypothetical questions.
It is to see if they empathize with the position of the opposition. You are coming in here saying that you believe that the temple guards may have been part of an unconfirmed underground network that comes against the temple. But these guards were wearing the appropriate temple gear to show their presence of what they are, and it is wide known what they are authorized to do. If somebody comes against them, it's in their legal rights to defend themselves and make sure that their orders are carried out.
And so far, with the witnesses that we have provided you, have you not seen facts of... Have you seen any fact of the menagerie members being the instigators of the attack?
The menagerie is not on trial here today. Who is on trial is Devis.
This is correct. I understand this. However, there is no fact pointing to Devis instigating any attack whatsoever.
He's not on trial today for instigating a fight. He is on trial for killing a temple guard.
I understand. My apologies for misunderstanding the proceedings, but I would just like to point out that we are trying to establish a storyline here, building
Sure.
up to...
No, you're fine. I was just clarifying. You're good. I wasn't.
You're-
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
What?
I'm
Okay.
just final.
Sure.
Your Holiness, can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Is it not the distinguished actions of the Temple Guard that make them what they are? It's not just their uniform. It's their person. It's their faith. It's their devotion and their actions that dictate what they are. Take a look at this man, and he points to the head paladin.
Okay.
You can tell by the way that he moves, by the way that he acts, that he stands for the goddesses. But in our case, we've seen magics that can cast illusions, and when you see these illusions, they're very convincing, and it is then that you have to fall upon the actions of those individuals to know whether or not they are truly what they pretend to be.
Okay. And there was a question in there?
Do you not think that that we could also judge people based on their actions?
I believe that is all we can do. Is just
Then I
constantly.
rest my case. And he steps off the chair.
um,
Without further ado, I would like to call Gur, if you're okay with that, Your Holiness.
absolutely.
Come on, big guy.
Gur will get up and approach the stand again, like Junem. Not sure if he's going to fit before he sits down.
Promise to tell the fifth, the whole fifth, and nothing but the fifth.
Yes.
Your Holiness, he is all yours for questioning first. I will humbly await my turn.
Can you let us know who you are, your relationship to the accused, and what you wish to bring forward to the temple?
Yeah, I'm Gur Duraka. I was hired by my companion and Davis to join in on this quest to retrieve the fleece and bring it back. I would like to bring to the temple a series of questions. I personally am a person of logic, more so than belief. So I will ask a couple of questions to clarify my understanding. First off, no matter what I say, no matter what anyone says, in this chair is 100% truth of what they know or believe in, correct?
Yes.
Good. So, I do not know for a fact whether or not the COC was involved. But what I do know is that there was a man in that city who very much so gave off the impression that he was a crime boss. And when we left to go collect the items to help Lilash do what she needed to do, he took that opportunity to take her husband and spirit him away in order to what's the term, coerce or force Lilash into doing whatever he has to, essentially. And then when we got back, this mayor evacuated the entire town for unknown reasons. So we then went to collect the tears in order to save a dying man. And when we get there, after the town is missing, the man has stolen a husband, all of these things, there are 3 people there attacking the person we are trying to help, whose husband we are trying to save, whose dying man we are trying to help, and they are accusing them of trying to do something with the tears. But there's a dying man back there, an innocent woman, being beaten. Are you telling me that you do not believe it right to protect and help?
I'm ready. Okay, so I was taking notes for that. Okay, so the last part of the question, re-say that again.
Do you
Take your time. Take your time.
do you believe that it is wrong to try and protect and help and protect and help the weak and the innocent and the sick?
I do not believe it is wrong to do that. We are here today, apparently, because of 2 differing perceptions. And the job of this court and myself presiding over this is to find the commonality of all the differing perceptions. Unfortunately, something we are all bound to is shaping our reality based on the perception that we have. But our perceptions can be skewed, and we each have a different moral compass. We cannot allow our own what's the word I'm saying? Individuality, to be our rules of governing. It must be the laws that are over all of us that we act on, not our own individual side. You said that you felt that Cain appeared to be a crime boss, so you acted appropriately against it, which led to the crime that the accused is here today. Would you say it is fair for myself to persecute you if I felt that you were a crime boss?
Cain is not the one on stage here, being persecuted.
The majority of the point you were making was that the individual that you all felt was the head of some crime organization, which led everything to where it goes. That, to me, does not come across as objective. It seems like you all came into the situation with a predetermined outcome, yet you ask me to not have that same predetermined. It would not be fair for myself to just accuse you and act upon my feelings of you without evidence. Would it be fair to say that all of you acted based on your feelings and not on fact?
I'm saying that a man took a sick person from their bed, dragged them out of the house, and was blackmailing people. If that is not a criminal to you, I don't know if I want to be here anymore. We were acting on the fact that a man, sick, dying, needed help. We were acting on the fact that somebody was trying to stop this. And when we got to the place that could save this man and help him, his wife was being attacked. Now, personally, I am not a heavily religious individual. Mm-hmm. In fact, I don't closely follow religion, but I do follow that the weak should be protected, the innocent should be protected. When I got there, there were 3 heavily armored individuals beating one woman who was on the ground, not resisting. Still, they beat her. Then we came. Then we asked, stop beating her. They told us to mind their own business and that they were going to continue. I have a question. Would you say your temple guard are highly trained individuals, or at least very well trained individuals?
I think Caldevar would be the best one to answer that.
Do you think that your temple guard are highly trained individuals?
Absolutely. I oversee at least some portion of every single guard's training at some time during there.
So do you believe that 3 fully armored and spear-carrying soldiers could apprehend one woman? One halfling woman or gnome woman?
She's gnome, yeah.
Do you believe that 3 of your heavily armed individuals could apprehend one gnome woman with little problems?
If this individual was not... If they're a commoner, then yes. But if they're trained or magically inclined or a fighter,
Layla, have you had any formal combat training?
No.
Can you shoot any fireballs that I am not aware of?
That'd be pretty cool, but no.
Is there any reason that you could think of, Kildavar, that 3 soldiers or guards would have to ruthlessly beat a woman into submission?
I don't see a cause for it under most reasonable circumstances.
Unless you have any questions, I think I rest my case.
Your Holiness, if I may allow Gurr to be seated, and I would like to request that Devis be seated at the chair once more, please.
Absolutely. They're your witnesses, counsel.
Devis, you look like you have something to say. I will hold my questions for now, and speak freely, please.
Now, not to sound rude at all, Your Holiness, but do you actually know my confession that I gave before turning myself in?
For clarification purposes, can you restate to everyone here?
Yes. I'll restate. During my travels, doing a job for the Temple of Sabbath at the Shroud, came across a multitude of individuals of a suspicious nature. Throughout the time, and on the way to the Tears Waterfall, the goddesses, should note, which I did, it was around midnight. We were not apprehended, that's the wrong word. We met these 3 guards beating on Lilash. First trying to ask the guards what they were doing, and then being brutally assaulted by them, and in defense, 2 of the guards were killed, which wasn't our goal, and 1 was contained. Now, we did question one of the guards and let them go, which I did note. And another thing is, which I should say now, the guard that we did question, which had some confusion when I talked to Kaltvar, did not say he was sent by Kaltvar, but somebody informed him of Lilash going to the waterfall. So stories are not making sense at this point, I should note, from what I previously already stated. But as I continue, the reason I confessed is by the potential of these actually being temple guard, and I believe justice should be brought, but also acknowledge the reasoning of why everything happened as well.
There seems to be much more to this than the crime came to the temple's attention.
Yes, that's what I've noticed.
At first glance. Justice is what the temple seeks. Not just for this crime, but of any other thing. The witnesses seem to be bringing forward a much more complicated case.
Yes, which I thought I mentioned inside of my confession, but it seems like that was not acknowledged. Must have been the death of the 2 guards highlighted everything else as like...
Anyone who lives a life serving the temple and their life is ended in the service, that is always going to be the most important thing when brought to the temple. As would, if you were killed in the line of service, I would also be handling your death to be the most important factor if there was a trial.
That is why I bring the case up to you.
Oh.
Now, I do have more questioning. More of the point of both the guard, which is what I can see here, but also Kaltvar, as there was the complication of orders as the one that I questioned, which was the guard, which I should note he was under a spell to tell the truth, just like this one. Did not inform me that Kaltvar did order him to do this. As he said, they were informed of Lilash, one of the witnesses, that they were going to the waterfalls, which is off limits to foreigners. But if that's all for now, unless others have a question.
Well, I would like to hear from Lilash. Everyone, I think, who has come up here so far has either by name mentioned her or referenced her in some manner. I would like to hear from her point of view, exactly what she believes is going on with all this. If you're okay with that, counsel.
There's been a question of break
Yes, we will.
for Brian.
Yeah, when she comes up, that's yep.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, as soon as we get a lot of ship, we're going to break.
Who's playing English?
I'm playing Lilac.
He is.
Oh, sweet.
Okay.
Lilac's just moving her way up
Okay.
and is seated.
All right. Perfect. Thanks for sticking with us, guys. This is slowly chugging along, and we're going to see exactly what's going to happen here. We do need to go on our first break, and when we come back, we will pick up. And we're going to give away, let's do 400 table tokens for everybody. So you're going to want to stick around to figure out what's going on and get those free tokens. And
Should be 500.
All right, we'll do 500. Yeah, we'll do 500 for you guys.
Fifth.
So we'll be back in just a couple minutes. Enjoy the lore video, and we'll see you in a minute.
My name is Julian. I have become a conscientious protector for those who cannot protect themselves. Odd things have been happening since Ilundra disappeared. The tides fell out of order during the first eclipse, and the females of my tribe have since become ill. Being from a nomadic coastal tribe, this is very concerning. That is what brought me to Corvalia's temple, in search of answers. I was there when the first horseman arrived, and it was then that I knew the full extent of my destiny. I seek the knowledge to allow my tribe to survive and flourish. I seek the answers to the goddess's disappearance, and I seek the means to prevent the devastation of these horsemen from ever happening again.
Behold, it is I, Treble, your adventuring leader-ish bard, here to tell you a quick tale. That was a tale joke, meow. I grew up hidden from the world as a result of an unlikely love. Mama Tabaxi taught me important shroud values, and Papa, tinkering gnome, sent me off to Banff to get my lust for music and magic out of his fur, meow. It was there I excelled through my training, made some friends, some enemies, and fell in love. But it all came to a halt when I caught wind of my mother's death. Long story short, I sought training for revenge, and upon my return to Banff, I discovered the love of my life's village had been destroyed by some connection of war horsemen. I fell to pieces, and at that moment, I wanted to end my life. But then a childhood memory of meeting Alundra flashed before me with the words, "In your darkest moment, you'll know what to do." Yeah?
Hey yo, 13 here, Ambassador for Unity and Honey. First thing I recall is waking in the Temple of the Unities. There, I learned and I studied all about Alundra. And let me tell you what, her ways, they was rad. But so few people would listen to the words. This really started to get me down. This is where I finds out I fights better with a buzz. Yeah, I'm a monk, what of it? My love is honey, and my soul is unity. Some of yous call me a dirty rat, and yous know who I'm talking about. So after years of preaching the unity, it's not until now that yous come to my door asking me for help. Well, this may be the miracle opening I was looking for. Let's go. Hey, anybody see my pants?
When I was young, and still unsure whether my name was Gur or if that was just the noise my father made to call for me, a woman named Alundra visited my village, and the sheer variety and potential I saw in her magic made it so my course was clear from a fairly young age. I vowed to learn magic to better the world around me, moved to the city of Laywell as a crafter shortly after, and set about learning from any who would teach me, though not many would, as the Revenant guarded their magic with a zeal. While many found me to be dependable solver to many of their troubles, it wasn't long until I hit a wall in my studies, so I took it upon myself to explore the land and seek knowledge where I could, leaving the city of Waylow behind. In my travels, I helped those I could, but to me it never seemed to be enough. There were always more things attacking, people needing saving, but I cannot allow myself to wallow in this. I must rise up and end this once and for all. Someone or something must be behind the horsemen, and I will find them.
My name is Nam. I have become a conscientious protector for those who cannot protect themselves. Odd things have been happening since Ilundra disappeared. The tides fell out of order during the first eclipse, and the females of my tribe have since become ill. Being from a nomadic coastal tribe, this is very concerning. That is what brought me to Corvalia's temple, in search of answers. I was there when the first horsemen arrived, and it was then that I knew the full extent of my destiny. I seek the knowledge to allow my tribe to survive and flourish. I seek the answers to the goddess's disappearance, and I seek the means to prevent the devastation of these horsemen from ever happening again.
Behold, it is I, Treble, your adventuring leader-ish bard, here to tell you a quick tale. That was a tale joke, meow. I grew up hidden from the world as a result of an unlikely love. Mama Tabaxi taught me important sharp values, and Papa, tinkering gnome, sent me off to Banff to get my lust for music and magic out of his fur, meow. It was there I excelled through my training, made some friends, some enemies, and fell in love. But it all came to a halt when I caught wind of my mother's death. Long story short, I sought training for revenge, and upon my return to Banff, I discovered the love of my life's village had been destroyed by some connection of war horsemen. I fell to pieces, and at that moment I wanted to end my life. But then a childhood memory of meeting Alundra flashed before me with the words, "In your darkest moment, you'll know what to do." Meow?
Hey yo, 13 here, Ambassador for Unity and Honey. First thing I recall is waking in the Temple of the Unities. There, I learned and I studied all about Alundra. And let me tell you what, her ways, they was rad. But so few people would listen to the words, this really started to get me down. This is where I finds out I fights better with a buzz. Yeah, I'm a monk, what of it? My love is honey, and my soul is unity. Some of yous call me a dirty rat, and yous know who I'm talking about. So after years of preaching the unity, it's not until now that yous come to my door asking me for help. Well, this may be the miracle opening I was looking for. Let's go. Hey, anybody see my pants?
When I was young, and still unsure whether my name was Girl or if that was just the noise my father made to call for me, a woman named Alundra visited my village, and the sheer variety and potential I saw in her magic made it so my course was clear from a fairly young age. I vowed to learn magic to better the world around me, moved to the city of Laywell as a crafter shortly after, and set about learning from any who would teach me, though not many would, as the Revenant guarded their magic with a zeal. While many found me to be dependable solver to many of their troubles, it wasn't long until I hit a wall in my studies, so I took it upon myself to explore the land and seek knowledge where I could, leaving the city of Dwaylow behind. In my travels, I helped those I could, but to me it never seemed to be enough. There were always more things attacking, people needing saving, but I cannot allow myself to wallow in this. I must rise up and end this once and for all. Someone or something must be behind the horsemen, and I will find them.
The following program features adults using adult language. You have been warned. Amazing. All right, and we are back. Thank you, everybody, for sticking with us. Looks like we kept, I think, everybody. So let's give out.
Yes.
Brian convinced me to do 500. So we're going to give away 500 table tokens. Real quick, if anybody's new to the channel, can you guys remind them what they can do with these points and why we give them out? Anybody?
Sure. What you can do is scroll down if you're watching now, and you can find command lines to actually buy us with those points inspiration, or health potions, or sanity potions, which we've not yet encountered, but I'm sure will come in handy at some point for sure. You can also, if you follow along in the chat, earn more tokens and use them to play some mini games.
Awesome.
I do have a question before we get started.
Yes, go
can
ahead.
Can you still buy DM inspiration and HP or help?
Somebody did earlier, yeah.
You can.
Yes,
I
you
was
can.
trying to do that earlier, but it
Yes,
just wasn't working.
and guest players are also allowed to pull from the DM pool on that if you're playing
I
an
know.
NPC or if, say, you're playing a monster. Either way, so. Looks like someone... Oh, just explaining. I thought somebody bought it. So yeah. Okay. All right, so points are given out. You guys look pretty anxious to continue this. So Lilash was just called up to the hot seat, and I believe, Spaz, you are going to be playing Lilash, so take it away.
Hello, Your Honor. I'm Lilash Straddlewreck, and I actually kind of don't know why I'm here. I'm supposed to be looking for my husband, but I guess this will be helping out since they were talking about Kane. But I guess for now, relationships or stuff with Devis, right?
You seem a bit nervous, my dear. You can just relax. We're all here to uncover the truth of everything that happened. So please,
So much has happened lately, though.
just take it from the beginning if you need to. We are here to support you.
So for a while, I've been doing jobs for the individual Kane, and one of those jobs, or at least I've been doing these jobs to try to find something to help my husband, Drendelin, but recently that brought me on to the Golden Fleece, which actually they were going on, and I was attacked during traveling there, and they actually saved me from Kenkus, which I don't know why Kenkus were attacking me, but it was Kenkus attacking me. They also have goose teeth. Strange. But but these individuals saved me, and after them helping me and all, I noticed they had the fleece, and since they were going back to Kandoria, I asked them if they would be just willing to help me with Drendelin with the Golden Fleece, and they actually agreed. These kind individuals agree, which I should know. Before any of this, I've never met any of these people before, honestly. But we went back to Brandylac, which is my home. I've lived there for all of my life, so has Drendelin. And I do own a shop there and other things. But we were going back there and to see Drendelin, to see if it worked. We stopped by and said hi to a couple of people that I work with and also people that also live in town. And we made it back to my home. Once we got there, we went upstairs, we went to Drendelin, I checked on him, and then we put the fleece on him to see if it worked, and it didn't work. And then we had so many questions, and then he showed up. Kane, the mayor of Benilek. He brought me a message informing me about it, and also threatening me, but that's another story. But it was informing us about the Tears Waterfall, but he informed me I had to do something extremely fast or else things would happen, and they happened, and I just don't know what to do anymore. But they decided to help me more and get the items that Kane ordered to collect.
When was the last time you saw everybody that is here witnesses?
That was was it 3 days ago at Brandylek when we were sleeping in the destroyed home of Puck. And we were waking up and everything, we were going out, and then on the way back, a couple of Bane dwarfs escorted them away when they were being questioned about something that I don't remember. And then they were dragged off, and then I was left there, and then I just decided to come back to Kandoria because Kane kidnapped my husband.
They were all dragged off?
Yes, something. I don't remember exactly what, though.
Okay, I guess we can come back around to that. There's been many mentions of this fleece. Where is the fleece currently? Do you all still possess it?
No, ma'am, that was taken from us.
Alright, well, she's going to ask Junem to take the stand. Lilash, you can come back up again if you need to, but she's wanting to get to the bottom of this portion.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, let's get Junem up there since you're the first one to speak up. So tell me...
Yes, I do concede to the chair.
Okay. So tell me more about this fleece. Where... You said you do not have it. Where is it currently?
We do not know. As Lilash mentioned, we were taken away, and when she says taken away, we were actually beaten and knocked out. And when we awoke, the fleece, this golden fleece, was no longer in our possession.
Who do you believe has it?
I do not know, although given everything that's happened before, I believe it to be probably Kane or someone that is under his employ.
There was mention of dwarves.
That's correct.
Explain more about that.
They were, as I understand it, Bane dwarves, in that I did see some glow from their eyes that I've seen a few times before.
So... The fleece was in your possession.
Correct.
The dwarves took you away.
Correct.
And then you no longer had the fleece.
Correct. I was hoping to find it via magical method, but we were under a time crunch, so to say, and here we sit.
Well, I have no direct understanding of this quest, but if it was originally coming from your employer, Devis, for the fleece, and it was something with a temple matter, it should be returned. Caldivar, can you please transcribe an order for the dwarves to return the fleece immediately? Junim, if you can clarify, what dwarves exactly were this? There are many in this land.
As I understand it, it was... I'd have to look it up. I think they were hill dwarves.
Bane.
Of the
They
Bane,
were
yes.
mountain dwarfs.
Oh, they were mountain. Yeah,
All dwarfs.
Bad
are
guess.
Bane.
It's okay.
All dwarfs.
Mountain Jaw.
the mountain dwarves. Yes.
Do you know of what location? So we know where to send the message for them to return it.
I'm not sure where you would send the message.
Where were you with these Bane dwarfs when it was removed?
We were north. I believe it was north.
Do you not remember the name of it?
It was northeast of here, I believe.
Do you not? I'm table talking. Do you not remember the name of it, or you?
I was looking for it. Don't remember it, but also I'm not going to say it if I don't need to. So.
Okay. Okay.
No, it was northeast of here, I believe.
Does anyone else of the witnesses, do you recall where the location was, so we know where to send word for them to return it?
What was the name of the place?
The dwarfs did mention something about taking them to Turris.
To
Turris.
Turris. All right, Caldivar, please dispatch to Turris to let them know to return it immediately. Devis, what was your point of contact that you were going to return the fleece to?
Point of contact is actually currently inside the room, as my good friend and also head of Sabadine's section.
Oh, to Memoir.
Memoir. Yes.
All right, add that into the ledger, please, Caldivar, and hand it to a guard and let him immediately dispatch this can get returned as fast as possible. And he will hand it off, and guard will start. Go ahead.
Why is it always when it's a temple matter colliding with a temple matter? It's the most confusing things ever.
Interesting that it was tourists and they were taken away. Were you taken into the tourist dwarven prison?
Yes, we were.
Under what charges?
We weren't told, aside from being knocked out, dragged away, presumably to this tourist. When we awoke, we were greeted by another woman that was in the prison, who told us of charges that were put against us for, I believe she said, burning a city, which was a false accusation.
Seems like you guys have been having quite a bit of run-in with trouble.
The wrong kind of trouble, which is
He
unfortunate.
is in our party.
Eh?
So, is it my understanding that you are claiming that these were false accusations as well?
Yes, absolutely. If they were true, we would have handled that differently, but we've done no such thing. We've done nothing but try to help Lilash in helping to revive her husband.
There seems to be
Oh yeah.
two logical outcomes. Either the party that you are traveling with seems to always be running into problems and causing legal issues, or perhaps your party has been possibly being framed.
I'd like to expand on that, if I may.
Please do.
Part of what Lilash said earlier was that she was trying to obtain things for this cane. Something that I believe was one of those items, or a set of, were some urns, I believe they were. Things that we've never seen before. What happened was, at some point I came in contact to him and saw a magical flash, something not too unfamiliar, but this magic I've never seen before. Fast forward to this prison, if you will, this accusation of burning cities that never happened, at least that we know of. When we exited the tourists, we saw a nearby city. What was the city's name? I forget.
Holbrook.
Holbrook. Yeah, I have a map here. We heard some screams coming from Holbrook, so we ran right away because we are the kind of people that run to danger when help is needed.
Let the record show.
Fact.
Okay.
And when we arrived, we were met with what seems to be literal clones of ourselves. And I'll turn to Albert and say, this is the remnants of what was left and what was attacking the cities. You'll notice the uncanny resemblance between him and Treble.
Tavar will immediately order Caldivar to
Careful,
gather
careful.
some
You don't want
guards,
to...
and they will...
If you beat him up too much, he'll turn into some slimy gush. You don't want to see it. It's a stinky mess.
They will come forward, and they are going to... Ooh, that's off map. Let's start up a little bit. All right, they are going to surround around Albert, which you guys had manacled, I believe, right? You brought him in?
Yes.
Okay. And go ahead, continue as they're just making sure he doesn't...
As we were on our way here, he did note that he does talk, although not much. He made mention of a master. Now, who that master was, he did not say. I should presume if he was to sit in his seat, he wouldn't speak. But he knows things that are important to this circle of events.
Well, this definitely seems to be evolving into a much larger case than I originally predicted. Unless you have anything further, Junem, to add, I would like to have...
I should note that when we were there at Turas, we did find a third feather. Gur, I believe you've got that. This is the same feather, or the same plumage, if you will,
Okay.
of the other three.
Okay. Caldevar will come forward and allow you to present the evidence, and he will bring it up to Tavara while you continue your story.
Also, when, as Lailesh mentioned, when we made our way to Puck's residence, Puck that was also brutalized and dragged away, the urns that I had mentioned were stolen. We believe those urns to be possibly the way that these duplicates of us were created. As to the whereabouts of them, I as well do not know. I was hoping to find them as well.
All right. Junem, thank you very much for sharing. If you could take a seat, I would like to have the temple guard who was their witness, if he could take the stand, please. And Treble, you will be able to question him as well while he's up there.
Okay.
All right. So, Spaz, you want to do this guy?
Sure.
Okay. Are you... Can you please tell everyone who you are and, like, what your... Just like everyone else did with like, how you were... I'm at a loss for words here. What your involvement is with the case.
I am me, and I was attacked while doing my orders.
Can you please clarify of what your orders were and who attacked you?
He won't say his orders, but they attacked me.
Objection. Your Holiness,
Who is they?
this chair is supposed to make the witness tell the truth, meow?
Yes.
May I interject?
Absolutely.
What is your name, sir? Are you pleading the fifth? Let the record show, Your Holiness, that the witness is not giving the name. Is this something that a temple guard would do? Withhold information from a holy temple in a court hearing?
Chris, wrong person.
Who? What?
No, Chris, you're messing up.
What?
Albert's talking at the moment, correct?
No, it's.
Oh,
the
I thought you
guard.
brought the guard over.
It's the
Oh,
temple
it's
guard.
the guard?
Yeah, the
it's
guard
the
brought the
temple
guard.
It's Albert.
No,
Yeah.
That's
No.
us.
That changes things.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking as the guard.
Oh, yeah, that's why I was saying you want to do the guard. Yeah, Albert's not
I
up
was
there.
so confused. I was like, okay, I'll be Albert, even though he's not
Well,
going to talk
thanks
a
Okay,
for
lot.
making
let's-
me poop my
It's
pants
okay.
a little.
It's a lot of moving parts going on. All right, let's
That was
rewind
so
that
confusing.
back.
I missed the whole part.
It's okay. Let's rewind that back because he wouldn't have answered that. It's okay. So the temple guard who was there that you guys let go. So he's the one that is coming up there. So if you want to say who you are to the whole thing. Sorry about that.
I'm Mason Bondon, temple guard. When it comes to my orders, this is something I actually need help clarifying.
Sure.
What is true? Because that's something that wasn't clarified earlier. Because when we talked to him at the waterfall, he said he wasn't given orders to capture Lilash. He was just told an individual was at the waterfall.
He did say his orders came from Keldavar, I believe.
I
I seem
asked
to.
I asked him who his orders came from, and he said he was on a mission or something.
He did. I'm pretty sure he said his orders came from Keldavar.
So it's
I
okay.
have-
We can all work. We can table talk this out.
This is
Mhm.
currently what I have in my notes. Question guard is a part of the temple, from what he said. While he was charmed, he refused to give too much information. He did tell us that somebody informed him that there was an individual, Lilesh, going to the waterfalls when it's off limits. And also, when questioned about Kaltbar, he didn't mention any orders to come here to gather her, but he did say he was on a mission.
Okay, so we can chalk it up to
So
the site itself is people aren't supposed to go there. So it's a crime if you don't have official temple business to go there. So that's arrestable in and of itself. So if these guards were tipped off that somebody is in this forbidden place, their mission would then be to remove that person.
Would it be considered temple business if, since Devas' official temple said to go there and get the water?
I would say yes
Plausible.
and no.
Plausible.
It's plausible, but she was not within a temple official when it happened.
Right.
So this is where it's interesting. So he was informed that Lilesh was going to the waterfall, which it was quite late when he was informed, almost about 8, usually when they would get off duty, just do their guard duty.
Are you, Spaz, aware of who's the one who tipped him off?
I believe it's Kane, correct?
Yes. So
Yes.
yeah, you can bring that up.
The individual that tipped us off was Kane, Mayor Grimlock.
Okay.
He informed us that this individual Lilesh was going to the waterfall when she did not have official business there, or nor permission.
13 is gonna go.
I knew it.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
We went to investigate. The individual was there. It was very dark, I should note. It was dark until these individuals showed up, which I should note. Later, we confronted the individual Lilesh. She started babbling on. We asked her to come with us, but I will admit, one of the people under my command, a rookie, did get a little bit out of hand in the situation. I should note he is the one who did strike Lilesh and also is the one who attacked the rat. 13.
Okay. Continue.
As things ensued, there was a fight. We defended ourselves, but casualties did occur. Now, when I was left alone, instead of just killing me outright, which I would expect at least enemies attacking would do, especially attacking temple guards, they allowed me to live, questioning me.
Why do you think that they let you live?
At first, I thought they were going to use me, but then the individual over there, as he points at Devis, showed me his holy symbol and also informed me of who he was. He then cast a spell on me, which enforced me to give up information about our whereabouts and why we were there. And then when believing that the reason that we were there was not nefarious, he let me go with no problem. And I returned back.
So, apparently things escalated in a way that shouldn't have because of difference in perception. But once they came to the consensus, what was your impression of this group as you departed?
Trustworthy, at most parts. I would say a little bit iffy about the bugbear over there, but all points fair.
That's just because I kicked your ass.
Nice.
Everyone's statement and witness account is very important, but I definitely take into account especially yours. And as a official in the temple and seeing the actions, do you believe that this
the record
was
show that the holiness is using the word believe?
nice? Do you think that it was murder, or it was a justified kill of the guards from the accused perspective?
Considering the situation, considering the time frame and everything, and considering the approach from both sides, I would say it was both parties were defending themselves, something that they did not know of, were suspicious of, and people died from that. Which I should note, one of the guards that perished fell into the Tears waterfall and drowned. Was not killed, but an accidental death nonetheless.
Interesting. So you said Kane is the one who tipped you off of Lilish being in the area, which led to you guys attempting to arrest her, which led to the group here attempting to save their friend, who they believe was under temple instruction to retrieve the tears for the temple fleece. Is all this correct?
As elaborate as it does sound, yes.
Caldevar, will you please approach here so we may talk privately? Counsel, you may address all of your witnesses and speak privately while him and I converse, and I will let you know when we were.
If it's okay with your holiness, I would just like to ask 2 questions from Sir Van Don.
Absolutely.
Briefly, thank you for your time, sir. Could you please point out to me the 5th or 5 members of the party that were involved in this matter with Davis?
Is that including or excluding Devis? Because then it would be 6, not 5.
I'm looking to have you point out the 4 members, including Davis, which would be 5th.
Well, the lady over there was also involved at the time as well.
Wobbles was there too. I mean, let's be
Yeah, the fucking squirrel crawled up my armor.
He's going for your
Please
nuts.
please tell Wobbles that I apologize for not including him.
He is the most important member.
So, in fact, like you do admit that Lilish was there. You can concur, and
I do admit that all of you were there, as I did.
and can
5
you
minutes
tell
ago.
the individuals that were there?
Hmm?
Can you point them out to me?
He points you out once again.
Okay. Your Holiness, let the record show that he is pointing out to me when in fact I was disguised as a guard myself.
I honestly forgot about that.
Yeah, I think that was a semantic.
out of
not
game
a-
thing, yeah.
Yeah, that was a.
So, Treble, you lose 10 HP.
Treble, come here, quickly,
No,
Treble.
no, minus the HP off. Minus the HP.
Yeah.
Do it now.
And
Do it or death.
hang on, Junem.
Treble, ask him if he knows who it was in the bushes, and also tell him that we retrieved his comrade's body from the river and buried them.
Okay.
Well, she's wanting to talk to Caldevar. So
I was just.
No, you're good. So
With
she's
the,
she's not gonna put everybody at recess yet. She's just talking with him,
sorry.
but she's allowing Trouble to come talk to all of you guys while she's conferring with Calabar. So you guys can all, not just table talk, actually in character, can
Right. So
help each other out here.
in character, real quick, he'll say that is all sort of undone. I would like to inform you that your comrade was retrieved from the water and buried properly by our cleric and our brat 13. Also, I would highly implore anybody in this courtroom that if they were there and witnessed this to step forward. That is all.
Okay. All right, so you guys can all collectively talk, strategize, mingle, vent, anything you guys need to while she is conversing with Caldebar.
I do have a question, Sean,
Sure.
about the fleece.
Okay.
If one of the individuals in the courtroom had the fleece, are they supposed to bring it up to the front of the court, or are they supposed to turn it elsewhere?
A guard is bringing an order straight to tourists, telling them to give the fleece. The temple is ordering. She is ordering them to give it to Memoir.
Yeah, but one of the individuals in the courtroom has the fleece.
I absolutely planned on asking permission to use a locate object, by the way.
Okay.
Spell.
Like, if once that thing was given out, the individual would have turned over the fleece.
Who has it then?
Ironside.
Oh, he has it?
Yeah. How we discussed it, he actually came across it, and he knew Devis was looking for it
Okay.
and being invited to the case.
I was unaware of that part.
I thought we went over that.
I don't remember it. So what we'll do is he can turn it in or whatever. Since we've already botched a couple things, we'll just kind of chalk that up as a botched thing as well.
Right.
We still have the water.
Either way, the fleece will be returned. Okay. Anything else?
Can we make a perception to see if anybody here in the room looks overly suspicious or nervous now that we brought up a lot about COC?
Oh, sure.
We were planning on doing it.
See too many suspicious people. You do see a one-armed tiger.
Oh.
Was he the
Inspiration.
Def Leopard?
Yeah. Nobody in the mentioning of COC. Nobody seems to be.
I'm gonna use that one floating inspiration that we had left over from last week.
Attaboy.
Okay.
Good idea.
Does anyone else want to make a perception check as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna scan the room. Sure. Nope.
Nobody
Fuck
that I'm
it.
aware of. Spaz, is there anybody that is in the room that you know would be squeamish?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't think so. No.
Well, yeah, one, actually. Lilesh.
That's true.
She was forced to do work for them, which you guys didn't know.
But yeah, as far as any other major political figures that are in the stands, none of them seem to be reacting to the mention.
That's reassuring. Actually.
Everyone looks suspicious.
Considering how many important people are in this room and no one looks
There's no one.
suspicious, it's a little reassuring.
Janim, with your natural one, everyone looks suspicious.
They're all out to get me.
Oh, good, we get to run away now.
Is there any thing you guys want to talk, like plan or strategize or finalize together?
I just
we
wanna-
should still have Elbert on the stand.
Even if it's not.
We've not done that yet.
The three guards are kind of like already surrounded around him, trying to fast track this for you guys as well.
You should, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's not going to say much. So they're already like
Okay.
already honing down on him.
Are we doing the closing statements?
Well, Tavara, when she's going to come back, she's actually going to announce that Kane is going to be subpoenaed to be brought here to court.
Yes.
So Caldevar was instructed to take a half dozen of his best guards, and they are going to go retrieve him. She says she thinks he knows exactly where he is, so they're going straight to there. So she's actually going to put the everybody in court here on a recess until he is brought back, so we can fast track that portion. So he is going to be brought in. You're going to see Kane being drug in by a bunch of guards, and he's going to be brought in through the room Davis came in through.
Could I make a suggestion to Tavara?
As Davis?
As Davis, or to the party, to make a suggestion to Tavara. If they are bringing Kaltvar in here, and...
Kane, you mean?
Yeah, Kane, not Kaltvar. Kaltvar's already here.
Yeah.
But if they are bringing Kane here, would it be smart to
Hide Elbert.
hide Elbert, just in case he is
That's a fine idea.
is a henchman of Kane, and if he believes he's not here, you give him a question, and then he doesn't speak about it, or he attempts to lie. You can then prove it with Elbert.
Yep. Okay.
I would vote for this idea. This is a very good idea.
So just try to expedite
that.
this. So what would you say to try to convince the...
I would suggest. Oh, go ahead, Kane. Or can you call you Kane?
Considering everything of how, what it sounds like my client's being framed and Kane being connected to it, and these clones, I would ask if Kane's going to be brought into the courtroom the same way, hide the clone for now. When he's in here question him. Which I should note, do not bring the clone into the anti-magic field.
Right.
Because he's magical.
Yep.
Sean drags him straight in there.
Yeah. I knew you were going to say something. I was hoping you would say that. Okay. Yeah, they can remove him. Okay. All right.
Question Kane on this individual.
Yes.
In any way to deframe these individuals or try to send out people.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
All right, so Kane is going to be brought into a side room, and Tavara's going to be telling everybody, like, the court's about to be brought back. But before we do, that the council can go talk to Kane before it begins.
I would like to pull Treble aside.
Yeah.
For you go to speak, and whoever goes with you to speak to Kane.
That
Is
doesn't
Kane
seem
in-
wise.
Has Kane been pulled in already?
Yeah, he's
He
in
is.
the side room. He's about to be brought out, but because you're a council, you're allowed to go, talk with him before he's brought out.
I don't think Treble should go talk to Kane beforehand.
I feel. Do you not want to counsel him? Hear what he has to say.
I just know that Treble's got some animosity towards Kane that might not be a good idea.
His uncle being kidnapped. Then who would someone else want to do that?
I'll
Would someone
allow
else
it
do
if
that?
somebody else wants to,
Okay.
unless
I mean, that's-
Chris wants to.
Right.
I can do it.
In character, as I'm saying.
But
If Trevor's
Can
going
some-
in
can
there,
someone-
he's not going in there
Can
alone.
someone else go in there with Treble?
Sure, I'll grant one person.
Gur. I vote
Better.
Gur. I vote Gur.
Okay. I will go with him.
Gur Junem.
keep me from killing this motherfucker.
Yes,
Okay.
of course.
Yeah, Gur and Trouble, we can bring you in there.
Yes. Before you go in there, don't reveal anything to him that we've brought up already. See
Okay.
what he has to say, and then let it be.
Don't reveal what the twin and the
Don't bring up anything that you are going to bring against him, because then he'll try to switch it back on you. He's a tricky
I'm
guy.
supposed to ask him then.
Just ask him about
How's
Talk
your
to
day?
him. about.
Murder
your
anyone
uncle.
lately?
Just don't bring up any of the evidence. Make it seem like you don't know he was at the places that you said he was.
He knows we know about Uncle Puck.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know that because you didn't bring up the sending.
Sure. No, it's okay. We're just trying to help guide each other. All right. So Treble and Gur, you guys are going to be allowed just a few minutes to talk with him before he's brought out. The guards will kind of escort you through a series of rooms and bring you back to them. They're going to bring you into. They're not going to come into the room, but there is one standing outside the door, in case there's any problems. There's several on the way. So he's been disarmed, just like you guys have. Bring you into the room and take it away.
Easy, Jimmy.
You know, if I wanted to, I could kill both of you easily, even without weapons.
Probably. Yeah, except other guys outside who would stab the fuck out of you otherwise. So I feel pretty comfortable. You, Triple?
Yeah, I'm great. Where?
Red doing this, trust me.
Triple, I believe you had a couple of questions.
Where the fuck is my uncle?
Very good question. Why would I answer it?
Where is Puck?
A safe place, for now. Mattering on how this goes, maybe not such a safe place.
Oh shit.
And so Tavares hearing this too?
Mm-mm.
No.
You guys
We
are
are
in a
the only
private
three
room.
in the room.
Oh, we're okay.
Yeah,
It's
let's
just
look
the
at the
three
map.
of us.
Oh, it's just the three of us. Oh,
Yeah.
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 Okay.
That's why I'm here, to make sure you don't kill him.
That's why
Okay,
Devis
alright.
said don't reveal anything that's already been revealed.
Oh no, that's fine.
We're trying to expedite this. Guy's got to stick with it.
Yep.
You're good.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
So Treble just flares out his claws, and he says, "These are going to be the last thing you see, you stupid motherfucker. You fucked with the wrong tabaxi / gnome."
You say that, but what are you going to do? Sit there and pout like a child?
Oh no. No, see, Kane, you don't see it the way I do. You fucked with my family, and I am going to fucking kill you.
You want to know the way I see it? If anything happens to me, your family's dead.
I don't give a fuck what you say. I don't give a fuck what you see. The last thing you're going to see is me. You fucked with the wrong people. Girl, hold me back.
Just pick up, turn, put down.
Okay.
So, you speak a very big talk for such a small thing. But, seems like I am currently in the courthouse, and for some reason they believe you're bullshit. But
Isn't bullshit, Kane. You know just as well as we do that you're behind all of this.
I know nothing. I'm just the mayor. But you're a couple of individuals that have done some horrible things.
Mayor of what? Bullshit town? Who's going to believe you're in there? I can promise you this. You go inside of there, I'm going to turn your world upside down. I'm going to expose you for who you are, and I'm going to wait. And at the time when you think you are free, that is when you are going to find me. And that is when you are going to find your last day and your last words.
You speak such a big talk for such a small individual.
I'm
And
a
better
bard,
yet,
son of a bitch. It's my job.
and better yet, if something does happen to me and I do get called up as guilty, if that even is a possibility, then bad things will happen. And you'll be even worse off.
Damn, Cherry, is that a threat?
I consider it a promise.
A promise of violence or a threat. Got you. You believe this to be true?
I know it to be true.
Okay, writes down. I think we're good here.
You're confident nobody can hear you in here. If there is anything you want to say, you don't have to worry about it being overheard.
Is there anything that you could say right now that would change my mind on how I should proceed?
Think of a couple things that wouldn't make you not want to proceed. death is one of them.
You're talking about my
Also-
death?
I'm talking about a death of everyone you know, and you're including yourself.
Okay.
I'll also include, if this happens, a lot of things will be shown to the courts of your doing. It is all reason true.
Cool.
But that could be stopped. You can stop this crazy assumption that I've done something horrible to wrong you. And then we can go back to being our regular everyday selves.
I know I don't have my magical focus, but can I do an Arcana check to see if he has anything on him that might fake lie for him? Like a charm or an enchantment.
Sure, go ahead and do a check.
All right.
No, you are very, very confident that this chair is unbeatable.
Okay.
There's nothing that he has that you know of in existence. Who knows? He's got a lot of weird, crazy shit. You never 100%, but you're pretty confident.
Modify memory.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Jabin, unless you have anything to ask him, I think he's very clear on his stance. And I think we'll be fine.
Small one. Treble.
Trouble.
Whatever the hell it is. I gotta say, this little, as he pulls out of his pocket, this little trinket of yours, very interesting.
Oh, the sending?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Treble just leaps
Grabs
out
the
of-
back of his shirt.
Oh, he can't get it. He won't be able to get it.
No, Treble just leaps at you, like at Kane, tries to
Okay.
tackle him, like just goes for his throat.
I will try and stop him.
Okay, so first we will see if Gur is able to contest it. If he's able to break through, then he's going to be at disadvantage going for Kane because Gur was also trying to get in the way.
Athletics?
We can do athletics contested or acrobatics if he's trying to be nimble.
I'm trying to get. I'm going to do athletics.
Okay.
You want me to do athletics as well? Then?
Yes. So you got to blow past Gur first.
Nope.
All right, Gur is just going to brick wall and stop you.
And I'm just going to immediately try and leave the room. Football carrying Treble.
Let me go. This can all be over right now.
No,
no
because
shit.
you kill him, we lose a proper valuable witness, and also you go to jail. And there's nothing I can do to stop it.
All right, you beat him by a big margin, so we'll say you're able to get him out of the room, and we will prepare to start bringing Kane up. So I'm going to drop you guys back into the courtroom. Sorry, Mike, if there was anything else you wanted to do, he removed you, so...
I'm not letting him kill him.
No,
All
that's
right.
cool. I'm good.
All right.
That is why I was there.
So yeah. Let's just get Kane up there. So we are racing against the clock tonight. All right, thanks for the help there. All right. The earlier proceedings, Kane, you have missed, but you have been subpoenaed here based on overwhelming evidence of conspiracy and a direct and indirect involvement into the case that we are proceeding. Please let everybody in the court know what your... he would have been informed of the basic accusations are coming against him, like while he was coming in. So the accusations that have been brought against you, Kane, how do you plead?
Not guilty.
All right, any statements or anything you would like to say? Go ahead.
So Kane was brought up to evidence, correct?
He has not seen the evidence. He's been told about the accusations.
So, from what I can understand, I'm currently being accused of being a part of a strange organization. Am I correct to assume that?
Yes.
And I have supposedly kidnapped the individual that is the half gnome, half tabaxi uncle, and also Lilesh's husband, correct?
Yes. And conspiracy, there'd be like conspiracy against the temple. There'd be you being accused of being the head of this underground ring of whatever. See what else. What all did you help me out here? What all did you guys say?
Kidnapping Adrenaline.
Okay, got that.
Puck. Kidnapping Puck.
Sending the guards after us.
Involvement in the COC.
Obviously, yeah. I don't know if we wanted to accuse him yet of the whole clone thing or not, though.
Okay.
Misappropriation of temple resources by sending the guards up.
Sure. Okay. Falsifying information, maybe. Okay. 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 Go ahead.
Blackmailing a lady.
Okay.
I can admit I did not kidnap these individuals, but I will admit that I did inform the guards of Lilash's doing, as I witnessed before, that she has done some devious acts in the past. And her heading to the waterfall, from what I believe, could be more nefarious than what we first thought. So I informed the temple guards of the situation.
And I will allow all four of you to kind of be like co-counsels if you each want to have a turn to say something instead of relaying it and him relaying it, just to kind of expedite it, but only one at a time. Okay, so
Sure.
no double teaming on top of them, right? So it'd be just one person. Would anybody like to go up? I mean, Treble, you can as well. I was just letting other people as well.
Trevor will step up.
Okay.
Is it true that you are our mayor of Brandy Lake?
Yes, I am.
Is it also true that you wore a feathered plume around your neck?
As do all other barons of Dwarven territory do.
Okay. Your Holiness, I would like to bring up the plume, the feathers that we turned in for evidence. Is he currently wearing one?
Yes.
Could we please compare the evidence to the plumes that he is currently wearing?
Ooh. Spaz. Would Caldivar be able to tell with other than the naked eye? You get what I'm saying? Like, is there a way to...
He wouldn't be able to tell if they trace back.
Okay.
Not with that.
Okay.
Would my testimony of scent help any at all? In the chair?
The what?
The scent of the feather, which was how I identified that being from Kane, or at least I thought I did.
I think that would be hearsay, because you could just say what, you know what I mean? I think
In the chair. I mean, if I was to submit to the chair,
He already said
the
it in
chair
the
of
chair.
truth.
Okay. Plausible, but wouldn't be irrefutable evidence.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll still bring it up, but
Sure.
yeah.
Okay.
Can I take a look at his feather plume to see if there's any missing?
I'm sure that would
Yeah,
be tough to tell.
That would be very tough to
Be hard
tell.
to... Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There's many of them, but they do look like an exact match.
I do implore the court to consider that this is very likely that these are from the same exact plume that is on Kane.
I would like the court to acknowledge that also all other barons of the Bane territory wear similar plumes. Actually, the exact same ones.
So, Gur, so your passive history skill gets the +10. So what's your base history number?
15.
Okay, so you would know that what he's saying is accurate, but it would stand out that most of the other barons don't actually have black ones, though. He's the first one that you ever heard of that had an actual solid black.
I'll definitely mention that. Like,
Okay.
I've never heard of a black plume before, though.
I find it hard to believe. I've seen a few people with black plumes before.
Have you seen a few barons with black plumes?
Yes, I have. As there are meetings at times where all barons have to assemble, commune with one another. So there are definitely a good number of them. Not a lot, I would say, but out of the handful, yes. Also, this is a very common feather as well, as it is a crow's feather.
That belongs to the plume that you currently wear. Now, you claim you have no involvement in the kidnapping of Lailash's husband and my Uncle Puck. Is this correct?
Yes, I did not kidnap them.
Any of you
So
guys can
what-
jump in as long as
I'm making a list.
Sure. Yeah, he's going right now.
Trevor, do you mind if I ask a couple of questions?
I just have 2 questions and then I'm done.
Okay.
Sure.
Did you order it to be done?
I did not order it to be done.
What was with the hesitation? Your
As
Holiness,
a person not allowed to think.
take into consideration the pause and time that it took him to answer for someone so confident in his uninvolvement in these situations.
But I did answer on this chair.
You did. Congratulations. And I start clapping. Your
Tavara's gonna
the Cult of Chaos should be very proud of you.
Council, you are allowed to question anyone who's on there, but be careful not to badger the witnesses.
I will ask you one last question. Could you please empty your pockets for me?
He empties his pockets. You see a couple small items.
And could you please show me the stone that you presented to me in the room that you hold?
This stone?
As
you see the stone.
Is that the sending stone? Okay.
Are you sure it's the sending stone?
I'm willing to do a perception check.
Okay. Is the same stone he showed you inside the room.
Clever bastard.
Dude, okay, table talk real quick. They're only good for one use, correct?
They're
No,
only good for
once a day.
once
Once
a day. Once
Okay.
a day.
All right.
And he showed you this stone earlier.
Okay. I'm going. Was I patted down? Would I have Would I have mine on me?
They would have taken weapons.
So
You
I would have
still
the
have
stone.
that item.
Yeah, you
All
would.
right. And I hold it, and I whisper, or not whisper, will say, "Can you hear me now?"
Nothing happens.
Bring
As
a-
you
brought a
com-
different one because he's a
As you
douche.
compare the two stones, your stone is a brownish hue, and his stone is a black one. And the symbol on yours is gnomish, and his is dwarvish.
I'm a bitch.
Is
Okay.
there something wrong?
No, I just specifically remember hearing your voice when I called to Uncle Puck, after him giving me a sending stone. And when I called for him,
Are you sure this wasn't a delusion?
I am positive it was not a delusion. Are you sure your involvement with COC or not involvement is a delusion?
Can you clarify that question instead of being meh?
I believe I implored the court to look into your involvement to the cult of chaos. That is all from me.
Okay. Does anybody else want to step up?
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Let's go
Do
with
you want to go
Gert.
first, or should I?
I've got some written out, if I may.
You can go for it.
Okay.
Oh, okay, Davis. It's good to see you again.
Devis?
I said Davis. Yeah, Kane. Sorry. Have you heard of the Cult of Chaos?
Well, I've
Before.
definitely heard it called a couple of times before.
This cult, these members, are you aware of what they do?
I've heard stories. There was a meeting one time in the council about them.
Do you have any involvement with them?
That was going to be one of my questions.
He cannot answer to.
Suspicious as fuck, if you ask me.
Fifth.
25.
I've had some involvement, but not in the ways you thought.
I believe that to be very true.
As being a man of law, I have dealt with them before.
Would
As I
you
did
really
Lilac.
consider yourself a man of law?
Yes.
Okay.
I am a baron of Brendylec.
Were you elected
Yes, I
or
was.
appointed?
Was elected.
Curiously enough. So you did not order the kidnapping of Lailish's husband.
I did not.
Do you know who did kidnap Lailish's husband?
Honestly, no.
Do you know how that came about at all?
It's a very small town. Now, I do know that there was warnings of people assaulting, so the town was called away during that time, so things could have happened without anyone else acknowledging.
Did you call the town away?
Yes.
Or was it? Oh, okay. Do you know
I
where
was
they went?
informed- Yes, they are here in Candoria.
Okay, good to know.
There was rumors of a threat coming near by the town, and rather than have everyone wait for it, I decided to move them.
That was wise. Did you know that Trebble's Uncle Puck had stayed behind?
I wouldn't be surprised. Puck is a very...
I didn't ask that. I said, did you know?
Sure.
Yes, I did know. Later, once I've moved everyone out.
Clever. Very, very clever, friend. Okay. Do you often, do you know of any bands of Kenku that might do the bidding of yourself or some of your underlings? I don't know if underlings is the right word. We were attacked by some Kenku. Would you believe it?
I know Kenkus will hire from anyone.
Have you ever hired some?
For some mercenary work here and there.
To retrieve a golden fleece by chance?
No answer.
It's getting hot.
I've ordered them to do a couple things, but that's what mercenaries do.
Sure, of course. Yeah, because most mayors employ mercenaries. So, are you aware of a bandit camp that's near the town?
The bandit camp that has been taking a multitude of our supplies, causing problems with shipments.
They've been stealing your supplies.
Yes, they have been. I believe
Um,
you helped out Lilash with that as well, from what I've heard.
We did. We retrieved some items. You're aware of what that was?
Lilash did mention it was some type of urn.
Do you know how many it was?
I believe the shipment was about 4 crates, so I would
Huh.
assume 4.
Could you explain to us and the rest of the court the significance of these urns?
They're valuable items.
Okay. Do you know what? Have you used the urns before? Put them to
I've
use?
never used them before.
Do you know who did?
He will not answer that.
Do you know who took Uncle Puck? He's a dear friend and a family
He will
member.
not
We
answer
would
that either.
very much like to get him back.
He will not answer that.
Do you remember answering the sending stone when Treble contacted him or tried to contact him earlier?
He will also not answer that one.
It's very silent today. Okay.
You're gonna start to see Tavara getting like really all these lack of answering. She's starting to like get a little testy.
At him or us?
At him, yeah,
Okay,
just like
good.
starting to put everything together. Yeah.
Right.
Do you know what was on these urns?
Something mentioned of a koi.
Do you think they had any significance?
Can
Magical urns with kois.
And more questions.
Can Treble real quick just
Go ahead.
glimpse over? I'm not interrupting. Just look
No, go
at
ahead.
Kane. I just want to see if Kane's like sweating yet.
Oh, if he does not sweat.
Sweating metaphorically.
Does Kane look nervous in any way,
Yeah.
shape, or form?
That's
Kane
what- yeah.
is definitely he's in a lot of deep thought right now. Like all these
How do I
questions,
lie?
like like I wouldn't say that's exactly his face, but you'll notice like he's getting caught up in a lot of things right now. And he's trying to tell the truth the best he
Sort
can
it all
right
out.
I have a list of questions as well. So
Is
you're
13?
fine.
Does 13
Um,
want to jump up at all? Or?
I was gonna say that's it for me now. I'll continue on later. Thanks
Oh.
for all that information, I guess.
You know, it's just Gert's turn. So we'll let Gert take a shot.
Sure.
Kane, would you say that now or ever have you been a part of the COC or had personal monetarily workings with the COC?
Will not answer.
Oh, that's what I thought. Okay, on a morality scale of good to evil and lawful to chaotic, where would you put yourself?
I would say a 3x3 grid.
I saw Shadow just like waiting to jump out. Of
I don't really
out.
use a 3x3 grid. I put myself more on a 5x5 grid, somewhere in between lawful evil and lawful neutral.
fifth by fifth.
I'd like the court to notice the evil was mentioned in there. Did you send a message through Puck's sending stone after his disappearance? Is that another silence am I hearing?
I did not.
Interesting. Have you ever been involved in any way in a crime by the church or Kandorian law, where you were on the bad side, not on the good side?
I've
Church
done-
or Kandorian?
I did many things in my youth years, but
Okay, how about
besides-
while you were a mayor?
in these dark times, some things unsettled things.
Okay, so potentially you're breaking the law. You might think it's good, but you are breaking the law somehow. Would you kill an innocent person to gain or benefit in any way?
He will not talk on that.
Okay, cool. Why didn't you answer the question about the fleece earlier?
Which question?
The one where you sent the Kinkus to steal it.
I didn't send the Kenkus to steal it.
Okay, sorry, you hired them. What did you hire Lilash for, and have you been blackmailing her?
I haven't exactly hired her. I have employed her before.
No,
okay.
He doesn't talk for that one actually.
Yeah. Earlier, when we came to ask you questions beforehand, did you threaten to kill us and people that we care about?
Like,
Nice.
damn, it's a bad day.
Because personally, I remember you telling us that you were going to kill us and people we care about. Did you do that?
May have mentioned a few insulting words.
But was kill a part of it?
Kill's an insulting word.
Okay. Last
You mean
question.
it?
Do you hate squirrels?
Actually, no, they're really good at gathering information, but that's besides the point.
I rest my case. My questions have been asked.
Okay.
At 13, did you want to go before I release the catkin?
I think there's, I think he's pretty much fucked himself. So, I don't have anything to say.
Guys, is it okay to bring out my evil twin brother?
Yes. Also, I'd like to say,
Well-
Junem, you asked a lot of questions I was going to ask. Good job.
Do you want to bring out Albert?
Yeah, and I want to like a direct focus on Kane to see what his expression is.
All right. He'll give a signal, and the guards will start to bring them out, and you can see Albert. Glossy black eyes are just kind of sparkling as it catches a glimpse of Kane as they're starting to escort him out and dragging the chains.
Junem, perhaps it is best since he spoke with you to maybe like a comfort zone type of thing. That you interview him.
When
Sure.
Albert came out, you'll notice Kane did look, just a side glance, looked forward and then did a double take and then looked back real quickly. But besides that, no real facial reaction.
It's kind of like the old TV show Cheaters, where he like sees his side bitch. He's like, "Oh shit, they brought her." Didn't it?
It's all downhill from here.
This bitch had to come.
Kane, do you recognize this one here? Is he still in a chair? Are we doing this?
He looks like the one that was threatening me in the room.
Do you know who this character is?
Well, I would assume it's Trouble.
I didn't ask if you assumed. Do you know who this character is? Note the eyes.
He seems to be Trouble.
Do you know who it is?
I know him as Trouble.
Yes or no?
And at this point, Albert is going to. He's chained, but he's going to have a little bit of slack. He's going to start to run towards Kane. He's going to be yelling out "Master."
Yes, finally.
I'll just leave it to that.
As they kind of like let the chains go tight, as they're like trying to pull him down. He's just kind of reaching out, screaming out for his master.
For the record, Kane, we know what you did. The court will know what you did. And what you've done in the image of us, in the name of your own greed, is disgusting. And you will pay for it. And your threats will not go unwarranted.
Well, regardless of what you do say here now, you maybe have got me, but I'll still keep my promise.
And
through
at
and through.
this moment, Tavara is going to slam down her staff, and you're going to see some radiant light starting to shoot these beams off from her staff. And she's going to order Caldivar two things. First thing is going to be to immediately release Devis, and secondly, to apprehend Kane. and the guards have been slowly kind of moving up as Keldavar's been giving them kind of signals as you guys have been talking to him. All 4 of them in unison are going. You're gonna hear as like their footsteps coming at at the same time. All 4 of them are going to reach out, and Kane is going to try to just split and run, but they're immediately gonna be holding him down. Go ahead.
Yeah, you'll notice as Kane gets up, he'll actually, since he's handcuffed currently, he'll kick the chair out from under him into one of the guards, kick the one right next to him, and try to get away, and then he's tackled by a group of them.
Nice.
Okay. All right.
Could I ask before he's taken away?
Sure.
I know some magics, and I don't know if anyone else here does. We do still have information we need to know. That would be the whereabouts of Uncle Puck and of Drandalin. As far as I know, only he knows. Would somebody be able to do that? Extract that information from this criminal?
Actually, I know who Puck is, so I can actually probably figure out where he is with my own magic.
Is that Devis that said that?
Wait, who's talking?
That's Devis.
You played many people tonight.
That's Devis.
It's
Devis will say that. Devis will
That,
say
and
that.
if you need a focus, if you need a focus for your divination spell, Tribble has something that should be related to him.
Okay then.
Or actually,
but I didn't bring that stuff here.
Okay.
Also, for that question that was given, Kane will look at you with a disgusted face. And he's gonna be like, well, Durlin, I killed him myself.
Oh, Drandalin?
Puck.
Drandalin?
Drandalin. And Lilash? He looked so peaceful when he started gurgling on his own blood. And Treble, your uncle will soon meet the same fate. Sadly, not by my
Shut your mouth!
And actually, Keldavar is going to come up and he's going to take the blunt side of a large pole axe that he has. He's going to hit him on the backside of Kane, on the back of his head, which is going to actually knock him out. So he's going to just fall limp as they finish putting the rest of the shackles on. And all of them are going to start marching away as he starts barking orders for them to put him into the cell that Devis was in, as they are also starting to take away Elbert. Keldavar is going to stay here, and while the other guards are taking them away, he's going to go up to Devis and start to take the pin out of the manacles that are holding it together as he's hammering it out. What would you guys like to do?
I am going to stand up and sing a song.
Okay.
And I'm going to
rejoice.
I'm going to look at Devis and I'm going to say, I meant to start this a little bit earlier, but I see that it fits right now. And I say, meow. We the peeps in Candoria Court, here to show Devis some support. Court proceedings, Kane's deceiving, menageries here to win. Oh, show us mercy, show some light, show us all you'll do what's right. A party martyr, please Tavara, let Devis go tonight. Meow.
Nice. Well done. Very good.
I bow.
Okay.
I told you, Devis.
Okay.
So-
You would be a walking the man.
Noticeable things when Devis is actually put as not guilty, much of the room starts to cheer.
Okay.
And is excited about this. During this
You
time.
did have friends here, yeah?
Yes, many of them were friends actually. And he'll go up and he'll notice Ironside, which actually has the fleece out. So, I have so many questions of how you got your hands on that, but also more questions. How the fuck did you guys lose the fleece?
Oh, we got knocked the fuck out.
We were arrested for crimes we did not commit. Also,
you know-
turns to Ironside. Are we still accused of debt, or are we clear to go?
Meanwhile, Junem's got like, starry eyes because it's like meeting a celebrity at this point. He's just like,
Hey,
"Sorry,
you know,
did you see me?"
I just want to point out that we brought it to you.
I mean,
How it
yeah.
got here is a completely different story.
It was all part of the plan.
But
Does that mean we're getting paid still?
Wait, you didn't get the payment? The payment
yeah.
was inside the chest.
We were paid up front. Gotcha.
Oh,
No,
Tarbender,
like the
that
chest
bastard.
Yeah, the Tarbender had the money.
It shouldn't even be.
Starbender.
Guess I'm gonna have a talk with them.
Meanwhile, also, I think Junem's gonna go over to Lilash and, in realization that she just found out that her husband's dead,
Oh, okay.
Shit, I just sang a song.
offer some.
Your
Yeah,
husband
I mean,
dead.
good things have happened, but yeah, this is like offering some condolences to in the full clerical glow robes.
Okay.
And just
30,
offer some condolences.
13's gonna pull out a fifth of mead
Fifth.
Okay.
and just
Appropriate.
start drinking.
Gar might
In the
actually
courthouse?
ask if you have some that he can have.
Tavares.
He like holds it close to him.
Sure. Tavares gonna ask Devis to come up. She's gonna dismiss everybody, but she's going to ask Devis to come up to where she is to speak with him privately. While you guys can do whatever you like.
We'll note we need to do this a little bit fast, because, gotta get Puck.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Lilash, I know there's a lot on your mind, and this is a lot to take in. But I've dealt with this loss in the past, and I've talked a lot of people through it. If you ever have any questions or someone that you need to talk to, then please turn to me, and I will always have an ear for you.
I'm gonna lean over to somebody who's not next to Lilash. He wasn't on the chair when he said that he was dead. Are we sure that he's dead?
He had no reason to lie at that point. Maybe other
Other
than
than to be
spite,
a
maybe.
Okay. Does anyone else want to do anything?
That's fair. No. Maybe probably actually, yeah, walk over to Devis and just offer like a handshake / like bro hug kind of thing. Like, I'm glad you're not gonna die tonight.
Isn't Devis aside at the moment?
Oh, that's right. He went
yeah,
up there
Devis
too.
Got pulled
Yeah.
by Tavares. Yeah.
Could eavesdrop?
Treble's gonna walk up to 13 real quick
Doing finger guns from his side.
and reach out his hand to like get some of the drink. Okay.
I don't want you turning it into something wrong.
Come on, man. Come on, you.
Nah, every time you touch my shit, you make it wrong.
Look, I promise I will say something very nice about you in front of everybody if you let me have a swig.
He pulls out a little cup and pours him some and hands it to him.
Good enough. And I just slam it back. 13. That was the most amazing speech I have ever heard. And I think you saved the day today.
That's true.
It's what it is. What it is. Just telling the truth.
Telling the truth and proclaiming the truth are two very different things, my friend.
And wording. Wording is very important.
Freedom.
All right, you guys will start to hear a slow clap. Like people were cheering before, but now it's just kind of like a, start to build up, and it's getting louder and louder.
Show me the money.
Exactly. Everybody's starting to cheer for your guys' performance, that you're able to get it off. Many of the people who showed up here were friends or supporters of Devis. So everyone is very, very grateful. You can hear everybody just getting louder and louder. Caldivar will remind everybody that Tavara had dismissed, so leave very, very politely. Because these are public events, but they don't want the public to stay when it's over. So they're going to be kind of reminding everybody to start moving along. So you're going to start seeing everybody starting to pour out. You're going to see all the dwarves and all the different.
Can everyone leave the
tabaxis.
courtroom? We currently are attending next a cart accident. A drunken cart accident.
Oh no!
Everybody back to the Red Dragon Inn.
It wasn't me. It was the one-armed tiger.
And
Drinks are on treble.
Can the defendant 13 come to the stage?
Damn it! Another trial.
And as you guys are kind of looking over your shoulder as you're getting kind of escorted outside the courtroom, he's going to kind of give you a look of we'll catch up later. This is important. So any last things you guys are wanting to do as you're kind of being sheep herded outside?
I'm just gonna head out. We've got lots to say, but this isn't the place.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay. All right, so you guys are escorted outside of the city hall, and people are kind of pouring out, and looks like most of the NPCs are going about their business. The political figureheads that were kind of in there, they seem to have been. They were the first ones that were escorted to leave, like the VIP kind of a thing, and they were going about their business and left, and then the rest of the NPCs started to funnel out, and then lastly is you guys who are up front. So you guys are outside of City Hall. Devis is still inside conversing with Tavara. What would you guys like to do?
Guys, this was a small victory against Kane today, but the war with Kane is not over. We have to find my uncle.
Yes. That finally, at the very least, is at the very top of our priority list now. I'm sorry I tried to get some information out of him as to where he might be.
No, Junam, you did a great job. I'm very proud of you. Thank you.
You did a very good job in there too. As a newly employed lawyer.
Not bad for your first trial.
Yeah.
We'll see what the first pay looks
You've
like.
got a new day
So I
job,
decided
don't
to
you?
pursue something.
By day I'm a lawyer, by night I'm a bard.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Hard man.
Don't quit your night job.
Hard man.
Okay.
Gar, you heard him. You heard what he said he would do. Not only to Puck, but to all of our family members or anybody
Yeah.
else.
I think the first thing we should do is try to find someone to divinate. I think Devis said he could. So we should either A, scry on Devis, or scry on Puck, or B, scry on the item that you had.
Can you scry?
I can't scry, but Devis said
Oh.
he could.
Yeah, real quick. Has anybody responded to the sending stone since I said anything to it?
Nope.
Good question.
Okay. All right.
Any other questions?
Nope. Good to go.
We should go wait for Devis over at the Red Dragon Inn. I'm sure he'll show up.
How far is that from the courthouse or from the? From where we're at?
Couple minute walk. It's not far.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's on the other
And
side
it's
of the river.
understood that we'll meet him there.
Yeah, he's saying he'll catch up with you guys. So as you
Okay.
guys start to head over towards the tavern, the Red Dragon Inn, waiting to meet up with Devis, that is where we're going to not only end tonight's game, but it is also where we're going to end session 0. Good job, guys. Well done.
You didn't get me killed,
Yeah, no surprise.
Yeah,
but
that's
you
surprise.
also killed me.
What?
Well, he was
We
playing
killed Kane,
Kane.
but we did kill
Oh,
him.
I gotcha.
He plays multiple characters.
Good job, guys. So that was what, episode 12?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You guys finished the
Holy
Session
shit.
0 arc pretty quickly. Good job. Yeah, Connors, you guys were just on Session 12. Yeah, we cut out a lot of the other content, but yes, they are. They finally completed it, so when we come back on January 8th, these guys are going to be on episode 1 of the campaign. So you guys did very well. Good job. Let's turn it over to the chat, see if anybody has any questions. Let us know if you had any favorite moments of the Session 0 arc, or if you have any questions about what's going to be happening. Pay the DM off. Yeah, nice.
Do any of the players, while we're waiting for questions
Sure.
from them, have any questions for us, the DMs, about the whole court thing?
I'm sure some will pop up. That was pretty crazy. That whole bit.
I do apologize for thinking fucking Chloe
thinking that Albert was on the stand instead of the guard.
The thing is, like, the Zoom chat kind of covers up like the top area, which is actually the person in the chair.
Oh, right on.
So
That's why you have to have 3 screens.
I have 2 screens.
I know. I need a third, actually. I feel like it.
3.
Alright, at the end of our games, we like to see if anybody has any questions, so we'll wait a couple minutes, see if we see any. If we don't, we'll go ahead and close it down, but if people start asking, we'll definitely love to answer for you guys. While hopefully people are typing up some questions, you want to let them know what they can catch on the channel, and remind about the holiday break and all that stuff?
Yeah, sure. We got a lot of holiday stuff coming up, in the sense that we're not playing a whole lot. But normally on Sundays we have Ages Past at 6:30 p.m. Pacific. We have Dungeon of the Mad Mage Mondays 6 p.m. Pacific. We have Horsemen of the Apocalypse Season 1, The Other Guys, at 6:30 p.m. Pacific. And then tonight we started at 6:30 p.m. and of course Horsemen of the Apocalypse Season 2, The Reckoning, is our show. Yes.
Okay. Amazing. All right, and when we come back on for HotA on the 7th for Season 1, they're going to be doing the 1-year anniversary. So they actually started the same time last year, so they are 1 year ahead of these guys officially now. So we're going to be doing an Asylum special, so that's going to be a lot of fun, so you guys make sure when I turn to that, it's going to be a 2-part special. Some of it's going to get recorded over the holiday break, and that will be streamed before the actual stream starts. So you guys will need to tune in a little bit early. So make sure you click that notification bell after you follow to get notified, because it is going to be probably about 4 hours or so before the normal stream time. If you guys missed any content, check out the YouTube. So this is going to be the last one for the Session 0. We're going to be starting a new playlist for these guys. It's just going to be called Season 2. Awesome. So let's see questions from Connor. What are the players' top moments in Session 0?
To be honest, blowing the guards off the cliff, because we should have lost that fight.
Okay. With the guards, what about this whole trial was when you shockwave?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My what was it? The fucking nat 20 on the spell bomb that I had for overkill. What was it?
On
the guiding bolt? Yeah, the guiding bolt nat 20.
On
You
the
did
adder
like
that
50
had 1
damage to a guy with 2
It was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
38 damage.
Yeah, I had nothing left.
That one in the original -3 piano performance still sticks out for me.
That was really funny.
It's definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, that seems good. The 13 was like, ah!
Yeah, that was great.
That was amazing.
Okay. What else?
I still like taking out the bandit in the large out of the bag.
On the way out of the
Yeah.
bandit farm?
Yeah.
Or the bandit clan? Yeah.
Suddenly 13.
What happened?
I'm the boss now, bitch!
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Can't remember that.
I have grown an affinity to hearing 13 go.
Yeah.
Oh, when he jumps up, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that Shrek should
Yep.
call me Noble Steed.
Yeah.
And Chris?
I would say Treble playing the dark side of himself a little bit was fun for a couple sessions.
moment specifically, I think, was when we were in the cave, the lava cave, and you guys were already pissed about me disappearing. So like, Treble kind of got left alone against a whole bunch of these little lava guys, and they were all trying to hit him, and Treble was like dodging like every single thing. Like every time one would explode, he'd dodge it. Someone would swing at it, they missed. It was just...
Oh yeah, it was like 4 in a row that like blew
Yeah,
up, and
just
you
like
and 13
nonstop.
both like.
Oh, the Magmins?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That was fun.
Okay.
So, I have 2 actually. So first one, poor slippery Steve, drunk by
Dead in the
a
snow.
horrible experiment and then dying, and then us all smoking.
That was crazy.
pipe,
That was
wow.
fun.
Junim thinking he could.
That
fly.
was so funny.
And then he killed.
I landed
Yeah.
on wobbles.
Oh, yeah. That's when he became a flying squirrel. Because Wobbles got hyped too.
You know, that's perfect evidence right there. There's an elephant-like shaped dent in the ground right next to Puck's tree.
From henceforth.
I did have
One
a
of the
feather in my
cheeks that
trunk
says
too,
rip.
which was even better.
What's been the biggest surprise in session 0 for y'all?
Honestly, the dwarfs. I was expecting the church to show up, and then the dwarfs show up. During that episode, I was very confused. It made sense later, but when the dwarfs showed up, I was extremely confused. I was like, why the fuck isn't the church here?
Mm,
Where's
Okay.
the Spanish Inquisition?
okay.
I'm gonna say losing the chick in the fire.
Yeah, fucking.
the lava.
and,
Oh, Raylan
solid
into the
NPC
lava?
dying.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Losing Raylan to the lava. That was a big
Mhm.
like, holy shit.
Yeah, that caught me off
That
guard
wasn't
too.
supposed to happen.
Yeah, I was well. Sometimes the dice pick destiny, you know. So,
Sometimes the dice say "fuck you."
yeah.
Oh, that and the fact that
True that.
somehow Gur survived crossing
Just at all.
crossing that one metal by the grace of the DM.
Yeah, I still don't understand how you actually made that. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. You should be dead.
Fired
I slipped
yourself.
him $20. Shut up.
Money
He
talks,
did.
my friend.
He did have the help of like 3 people.
I guess we'll never know.
He never rolled above a 6.
He secretly inspired himself for the second time.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for being with us for this journey, but it is technically just now starting. So this is not the end. This is
so
the
crazy.
beginning of the rest of the next several years of their lives. So you guys are definitely not going to want to miss next week because it is going to be in episode 1. They're going to start learning a lot more about this world.
Not next
week, in 3
Next
weeks.
year.
Next year, yeah.
Yeah, next year. Let's
Oh
see.
God, don't say it.
So you guys are going.
2020.
You guys are going to need to get your level 20 character sheets. So update the D&D Beyond. Yes. Connor says, get ready, gents. It's a crazy ride. That is definitely true. So you guys are probably going to want to study that over the break just so you can get familiar because going from
Yeah,
low
maybe it's
level
good
to
we have a
20,
break.
you want to brush up all your spells and everything.
Holy shit.
But that's it. We're signing off. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you in 2020.
See you
Thanks.
next year. I'm Bubba Waters, and this is 2020.
Amazing.
Oh, that's happening.